two quiet brothers from Minneapolis grew up to become arguably the kings of indie filmmaking and have given us so much in just 35 years. Joel and Ethan Coen, Oscar winners and humble film titans who are responsible for helping to craft my love of movies with films like The Big Lebowski and No Country for Old Men, among others. On this Weird Shit Wednesday, Austin and I will look into each of their films and talk about what we liked, what we disliked, and how each film fits into their undisputed pantheon of cinematic achievement. Buckle up, bozos. This is Filmgazm. Welcome to Weird Shit Wednesday, listeners, where instead of talking about a horror movie, we go big with a filmmaker's career or Hollywood scandal, or whatever tickles our brains in the movie world. Today, for episode 25, it's the films of the Coen brothers, and our thoughts on how they've captured audiences' attention for over 3 decades. I'm Connor Eyzaguirre, your host for the next several hours, and as always, for Weird Shit Wednesday, I'm joined by Austin Johnson, the Walter to my dude, so to speak. We're so excited for this episode. We're both lifelong fans of the Coen brothers and their films. We're looking forward to this for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
I got a little rewind for you. Cool little Jaws update that devoted film fans like us will find exciting. It's been announced that the last surviving mechanical shark from the film's production has been restored and will be a featured exhibit at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, set to open in February of 2020. Cannot wait to visit that magical place. And we're going to get to see the shark.
Oh, yeah. God,
so exciting.
It's going to be incredible.
So that's all I got for the rewind. Brief little shark thing. And here, let's go into the Coen brothers. Joel and Ethan Coen were born in St. Louis Park, Minnesota, a suburb of Minneapolis. Joel spent 4 years in the undergrad film program at New York University, while Ethan went to Princeton and earned his undergrad degree in philosophy. What a surprise. In 1984, Joel married Oscar-winning actress Frances McDormand, and they have one adopted son named Pedro McDormand Coen. Ethan married film editor Tricia Cook in 1990. They have 2 kids, Dusty and Buster Jacob. Both couples live in New York, and that's the extent of their personal lives that's known to the public. They keep to themselves. They allow their films to speak for themselves. I respect the hell out of that.
Same. That's a big part of why I enjoy them so much, because you don't even have to separate them. It's already separated for you because they don't do anything stupid, and they keep their private life, keep their lives to themselves.
Even when they do interviews, which they rarely do, they're super uncomfortable. They're super quiet.
Yeah,
they're here for the work.
Yeah, exactly. They just want to keep making movies.
The two brothers would swap directing credits for some time to appease the Directors Guild until they either got kicked out or they left, and they would edit their own films under the alias Roderick Janes. But they've always written, directed, and edited their films together. They're a unit.
Yeah, two-man team here.
Yeah,
you get if you draft one, you get the other 2.
Absolutely. So now that we know a bit about who they are, let's go into the films.
Yeah, let's do it.
Blood Simple,
1984.
That was their first effort. Holy shit! What a way to start a career.
Yeah, fantastic stuff.
It has an IMDb score of 7.6.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes score of 94%.
There we go.
Tells the story of a bar owner who hires a private investigator to spy on his cheating wife, then later hires the same man to kill his wife and her lover, but things take a turn for the worst, as they usually do with the Coen brothers' films. Nothing ever happens the way you think it's going to happen.
Or, it never happens how the protagonist wants it to happen.
Oh, no. The plan never works. Ever. Any of their films. The title comes from a line in the Dashiell Hammett novel Red Harvest. Quote, "This Dan Berg's getting me. If I don't get away soon, I'll be going blood simple like the natives."
Oh, man.
Red Harvest would inspire a few of their films. It stars Dan Hedaya as Marty, the bar owner, M. Emmett Walsh as Lauren Visser, the private eye, John Getz as Ray, and Frances McDormand as Abby. I give this film an 8, but it's very close to a 9.
Yeah, I'd say same thing. Yeah.
And I gotta mention Carter Burwell's score. Carter Burwell has composed every Coen film except Inside Llewyn Davis. He had a prior obligation.
That's also understandable for that kind of a movie.
Yeah. But this film, Carter Burwell, I think it's his best work. The score to this movie is so eerie.
I'm with that, yeah.
It's remarkable. Like, it makes me a little scared, almost, when I hear it.
Well, yeah, it kind of has, what you and I love the most. It kind of has some horror roots in it.
Yeah.
Especially in the score. So, yeah,
absolutely.
I would agree with that. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, for each of these films, we're going to talk about our favorite scene in the film and our favorite character. So
we have the same one here, I believe, for scene.
Our favorite scene is when... So, before we get in here, spoiler alert for every single film the Coen brothers have ever made, but you should expect that.
Every Worship Wednesday, yeah.
Every podcast, really, we're going to spoil this.
He's just being nice,
So, Marty hires Visser to kill his wife and her lover.
Visser's a real asshole.
Visser's a piece of shit.
Both our favorite characters as well,
He fakes their death with a photograph, and then he shoots Marty and steals his money. Ray finds Marty's body and thinks Abby killed him, and decides, all right, I got to get rid of this evidence. Drives Marty's body out to the Texas desert and is going to bury him, and then Marty wakes up. And it's so grisly because Ray decides to bury him anyway.
I'm going to keep going with it.
Our favorite scene is when Ray literally buries Marty alive.
Incredible.
It's horrifying. Marty is screaming under the dirt. The dirt's moving, but Ray keeps digging. He keeps burying him, and it's so fucked up. It's so dark.
That'd be so scary. That perspective is being trapped like that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's a legit fear of mine, that I'll wake up and I'll be trapped somewhere.
Same. That's also why our last episode we talked about scary stories.
Yeah.
That was the scariest scene, was because it felt like
we were trapped.
Yeah. Oof. Yikes! Yeah.
Our favorite character, I went with Lauren Visser.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. I said all these people are just assholes, and they're shitty people.
This movie's all about people doing them. This is, getting away with whatever they want, regardless of how it affects others.
Yeah.
And Visser is the king of that.
Yeah.
He could give a fuck about anybody but Visser. And M. Emmett Walsh owns that performance. He does such a great job.
Yeah. Oof. That's mainly why I think I would pick that too. He just simply gives the best performance, even if he's not my favorite character. That guy's amazing. He does a damn good job. I think he outshines everybody else.
Yeah, for sure. Blood Simple.
Really, just a great start to the Coens, and what a tone setter. Hey, this is what we are, which is weird because it goes into this other movie that's both our least favorite of their entire filmography.
Oh boy, yeah. The fact that this was even associated with them is amazing.
It's really sad, yeah.
1985's Crime Wave, their first collaboration with director Sam Raimi, who they met while assisting in the editing room with The Evil Dead. Raimi directed, and the three of them wrote it together. Crime Wave, honestly, I watched about half of it. I don't know what the fuck it was about.
Yeah, no, thank you. I turned it on, and you had told me that it was terrible, and I was like, I can already feel it.
It's about like a guy gets wrongfully accused of a murder in like the 1950s.
Yeah.
And he's going to be executed, and he starts telling his story, but it's jumping around everywhere. None of the characters make any sense. Everything's so wacky.
It's not fun to me at all.
It's ridiculous. It's no wonder everyone involved has disowned this movie. It has an IMDb score of 5.7, and it doesn't have a Rotten Tomatoes critics score, but it has a viewer score of 48%.
That's about right.
And this is honestly one of the worst, if not the worst movie I've ever seen. This is unbelievable.
It's crazy that they even had a part in it. Yeah.
I really, really try not to turn something off, but I couldn't do it with this. This was ridiculously bad.
Couldn't get through it.
Yeah. Like, I'll say I can't believe this came from Sam Raimi and the Coen brothers.
Yeah. Three names I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Typically, but whatever. I don't know what happened there. There's got to be a backstory we don't know about. Something in the production must have happened, and it must have been chaotic.
Well, I don't know, because the Coen brothers have misstepped before when they weren't behind the camera. And I don't know, maybe they just need total control for their stuff to work.
Yeah, but you would think someone like Raimi would be capable of...
You'd think, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's proof.
Yeah.
Like you said, this isn't the only time where they weren't behind the camera that there was kind of a mess up, so...
The only thing I liked about this movie was a brief fun fact. The prison in the film is called Hudsucker State Penitentiary.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah.
We
get that a few years later,
Yeah.
About 10 years later.
We'll get to Hudsucker in a bit here. So, next up was 1987's Raising Arizona, one of their all-time best films.
Agreed. My number 5 on my list, yeah.
Stars Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter as a childless couple who decide to kidnap one of a local furniture baron's quintuplets.
What a fantastic plot.
Yeah. They think they have more than they can handle, and they're barons, so they're like, the greater good. It's a comedic masterpiece, one of their finest efforts. Co-stars John Goodman as Gale, William Forsythe as Evel, two brothers who break out of prison to go find Nick Cage's H.I. McDonough and start get the gang back together.
So good.
Randall Tex Cobb as Leonard Smalls, like a devil character on a motorcycle who's after the baby for a ransom.
Always smoking.
Yeah. And Trey Wilson as Nathan Arizona himself, the furniture baron of unpainted Arizona. Oh, God. This movie's so quotable.
It really is.
It's fantastic. It has an IMDb score of 7.3, Rotten Tomatoes score of 91%, and I give it an absolute 10. This is a fantastic film.
Yeah, I think I would also give it a 10. This is, again, it's in my top 5, undoubtedly, and it's got, like you said, endless quotes in it, and it's got some moments in it where you really have nothing to do but just cackle.
Yeah.
You're just giggling like a little kid, and particularly the huggy scene.
Yeah, that's my favorite scene, too. H.I. pulls over to steal
pantyhose
some huggies with pantyhose on his head. And Ed, his wife,
good.
takes off, pissed off, and H.I. utters one of my all-time favorite lines, "Better hurry it up, I'm in Dutch with the wife."
Yeah. I'll be taking these whatever cash you got.
Everything that happens after that is just so over the top and
Yeah.
insane. And without a doubt, my favorite character in this film is H.I. McDonough.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I love when he's talking when they're driving away after getting the huggies, and he's like, "Make a left here." "Oh, honey, it's going to be a left up here."
I come from a long line of frontiersmen. I watched it earlier today.
Oh, that's great.
It's so wonderful.
It really is. It's so much fun. Yeah.
I'd
I'd say it's the funniest Coen movie through and through.
Ew, I don't know about that, but it's
Lebowski's really good. Is that what you'd say?
That's mine, yeah.
Lebowski.
But,
I think Lebowski has more, over time, there's more to it
I agree.
than Raising Arizona. More symbolism. I think everybody would agree with that.
I think Lebowski is them perfecting the style of Raising Arizona.
That's fair. I just... Raising Arizona, it's got one of the wackiest plots I've ever heard of in my life.
It's insane. On paper, this sounds ridiculous.
Sounds stupid. And you're like, oh, Nicolas Cage is in it?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I
His
don't want to
best
see.
work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. It's my favorite character he's played.
Yeah.
But he had that stretch in the 90s where he was on fire.
Oh, yeah.
And then he had adaptation early 2000s. Yeah, he had a good stretch.
He's worthy of a podcast in himself.
We will.
Yeah.
We actually wanted to.
Yeah.
I pulled the plug on it because he has so many movies that he's been in. I want to see like half.
Yeah.
And he has like 110. So.
We need to have at least a month to prep for that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put that on we're gonna table that.
Just rewatching all of 18 of these is like it's a battle.
It's a haul.
Finding time for all of it, but it's so much fun. Oh, such a blast.
And we do this for you, the listener.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, this is all this back work, this legwork is for you.
Exactly. So
I love you guys. So we both said hi, right, for a favorite character.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
He takes it. He's the ultimate slacker. He's amazing.
Yeah. You had mentioned one time that he was like a proto dude.
Yeah.
They actually,
shout out to Raising Lebowski. That's on Amazon Prime right now. It's like a 15-minute bit that we watched, and these guys talk about the Coen brother movies. And yeah, they're talking about. I love the points they brought up about. He's kind of a precursor to the dude.
Yeah.
This is 14 years or no 11 years.
11
years before Lebowski comes out. So I really like that. I really like that they're able to kind of, like you said, maybe perfect some things that happened earlier in their career. So
yeah.
This movie's so funny though. Goddamn.
Okay.
To go from a 10 to Lebowski 10 is like, well, did they really get any better, or were they just amazing the whole time?
We're establishing layers of 10 now.
Yeah, layers of
Unbelievable.
10s. That's amazing.
So, Raising Arizona was followed by one of their finest dramas, 1990's Miller's Crossing.
Oh yeah, so good.
Takes place during Prohibition, follows an Irish mob enforcer named Tom Reagan as he tries to keep the peace when a hot-headed Italian rival starts a gang war with an Irish boss. It's inspired by the Dashiell Hammett novel Red Harvest again, which also inspired films like 1961's Yo Jimbo, 1964's A Fistful of Dollars, and 2005's Brick. This is a book that has been highly influential in pop culture. Film stars Gabriel Byrne as Tom Reagan, Albert Finney as Leo, the Irish boss.
Oh yeah.
Marcia Gay Harden as Verna, Leo's girl that Tom is sleeping with. John Turturro as Bernie Birnbaum, a local bookie. John Polito as Johnny Casper, the Italian hothead. And J.E. Freeman as the Dane, Casper's enforcer. This film has an IMDb score of 7.8, Rotten Tomatoes score of 91%. I give it a 9. This is a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
Miller's Crossing is great.
Yeah, I'd give it a 9, nice 9 as well.
Yeah.
It's right outside of my top 5 of their movies, right outside of my the ultimate Coen. It's so good. I think one of the reasons I think you agree with me is Marsha, to me, does not give a very good performance.
She's kind of the weak link in this one.
And I think if that's a stronger character there, this movie could be epic.
Yes.
Epic.
Yes.
Because both Gabrielle Byrne and Albert are just playing, doing their job so well.
Yeah.
Really enjoy those two. And Polito, come on, he's fantastic.
Albert Finney was a last-minute choice, though. It was supposed to be Trey Wilson, Nathan Arizona.
I've read that, yeah.
But he tragically died before production started. And
Rest in peace.
Yeah. But Albert Finney, wow.
Oh, yeah.
One of his best performances.
Leo's my favorite character from this movie. He's fantastic. Frightening at times with that pale face and that slick back hair.
It is never under discussion whether or not he's in charge. He is very much in charge.
Yes, it's an unwritten. Yeah. From the time the movie starts until it's over. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Even when he goes to war with Casper, you know who's going to win this. Mm-hmm. And Casper is actually my favorite character.
Oh, okay.
I love John Polito.
Me too. It's my favorite John Polito from the Coens. because they use him over and over.
He's terrifying in this. He will just go off whenever he talks about someone giving him the hi hat. It's great.
Yeah, like hits his kid.
Yeah, like aggressively hits his kid.
Slaps him in the face. Be gone! Yeah,
this
movie's really intense, and you know what? Yeah, there's a reason the story's so popular. It's a lot of fun to go back to this time, the Prohibition time, and the costumes and the way people talk, and it's just a fun era. And this is one of my it's one of my like favorite gangster movies.
Yeah,
would
definitely.
be Miller's Crossing. This is a real classic, and this is very ballsy to make a movie like this or early in your career after you made Raising Arizona.
This was only their fourth effort.
Yeah, fourth.
No, wait, fourth.
Well, Crime Wave would be
third. I wouldn't count Crime Wave.
Yeah, neither would I.
Written and directed, this was their third movie.
Yes,
which is insane.
It's wonderful. Yeah, it's wonderful. I would say this is kind of perfecting Blood Simple in a way. Those tones and those kind of that energy. I think Miller's Crossing really is. Yeah, like you said, it's a nice 9.
You look at their comedic trajectory and their drama trajectory, and they really kind of match in the way they grow. Like, it just, it keeps getting funnier, it keeps getting more serious. They're just constantly, like, perfecting that until it intersects around, I would say, Fargo.
Yeah, that's everybody's kind of...
Yeah.
It's the pinnacle, kind of in the middle of their career. Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
It's so strange. They're the masters at both of them. Not a lot of people can do that.
And they can they can do violence very well.
Yeah.
Very well.
It's never, like, aggressive or too much. All the violence makes sense.
Yeah.
It's always just the right amount needed for the story.
Yeah, agreed. Realistic amount of blood. Everything's just very simple.
Yeah.
Blood simple.
Favorite scene? What's yours?
Leo, I mean, whoever the stunt guy is, because or if it's him, I don't know. I just don't think so. He repels off the roof, jumps down, shooting in the middle of the street that leads up to his house. Beautiful scene.
That's crazy.
I don't know what the name of it would be, but it's Leo being attacked. There's guys who are like putting a hit on him, and he's like, nah, not today, not tonight, no thanks. And and those, like I said, the costumes. He's like wearing a robe because he's about to go to sleep. And he's got the Tommy gun, it's just really cool.
To reference a prior episode, I feel like that scene was heavily influenced by The Godfather Part 2.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
When Michael escapes his assassination attempt.
For sure.
My favorite scene is when Tom takes Bernie out to Miller's Crossing to kill him.
Classic.
But lets him go out of pity because Bernie's begging for his life. Look into your heart. That whole thing. And it's...
Turturro really goes for it there.
Really
gets after it.
I think this film is John Turturro's best performance in the Coens catalog. But I mean,
I would agree.
Yeah,
that's tough though.
The next film, maybe, but this.
But then and then there's another one.
John Turturro
another one
is when they're major players. Always give it their all.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. How valuable that is. Mm-hmm. How valuable it is to have these guys who
you got to have your circle.
Keep coming back.
Tarantino has his. Rodriguez has his, Wes Anderson, they all have theirs.
Yeah.
And the Coens are no exception.
Yeah.
Next up, 1991's Barton Fink.
Hell yeah.
A film set in 1941 that features the worst case of writer's block ever. John Turturro stars as a playwright named Barton Fink, who was summoned to Hollywood to write a wrestling picture, despite knowing nothing about the genre or how to even play the Hollywood game. He befriends an eccentric neighbor of his at his hotel, named Charlie Meadows, played by John Goodman, and he struggles to write this movie and just kind of tries to let the world write it for him. The Coens actually wrote this when they got writer's block while they were writing Miller's Crossing, which is just amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What should we write about? what we're going through. Yeah.
Writer's block.
And it shows that Barton Fink's pretty like kind of wacky.
Yeah.
And it felt like that as filmmakers they were just kind of trying things at times.
Oh yeah.
Which might not hit for everybody. For me it hits. I love Barton Fink. But for some people it might not hit because it's a little more experimental.
Some of my favorite films of theirs are when they combine genres, when they play with them.
Let's fuck with it. Yeah. See what happens.
A little comedy, a little drama. There's a little horror at the end of this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's, yeah.
Charlie Meadows is frightening. Yeah.
Oof. Film co-stars Michael Lerner as Jack Lipnick, the studio head. Judy Davis as Audrey Taylor. John Mahoney as W.P. Mayhew. Tony Shalhoub as Ben Geisler.
Yeah.
John Polito as Lou Breeze. And Steve Buscemi as Chet.
I love when he gives him the piece of paper that says Chet. With an exclamation point.
I'm Chet. Steve Buscemi. Oh, national treasure.
Another mainstay of theirs that's just terrific.
The film is nominated for 3 Oscars. Best Supporting Actor for Michael Lerner, Best Art Direction, and Best Costume Design.
Michael Lerner.
Of all people from this one.
I know, right?
I would have given it to John Goodman for this one.
But for whatever fucking reason, the Academy just doesn't like him, I guess.
Well, I think because Michael Lerner is playing a Hollywood producer. This was very much them stroking themselves, is the way I see it.
Whereas John Goodman is like the evil part of Hollywood. So here he plays like an evil... yeah. And they're like, we don't like that. Yeah. You're just a tourist. I live here. So good.
It has an IMDb score of 7.7, a Rotten Tomatoes score of 90%. Very few of their films dip under 90%.
It's pretty insane, yeah.
And it has I give it an 8. It's a solid flick. Highly underrated. I think a lot of people don't really know about this one.
Yeah, it's a 10 for me. I mean, all those top ones are 10. You know, if Raising Arizona's 10, this is 10 too. I really, really enjoy this one. It's one of the ones I enjoy to rewatch because I feel like I catch new things with each character.
Yeah.
Specifically, Mayhew. My God, he is genius in this.
W.P. Mayhew.
Genius.
That's actually my favorite scene is when Barton's
let's go into that, yeah.
Barton's having lunch with Mayhew and Audrey, and Mayhew just straight up slaps Audrey, and it's just, on a complete bender, runs into the woods, starts walking down the side of the road singing Old Black Joe, and Audrey's like, yeah, but he's my mess.
Just admitting defeat.
And then later on she reveals that she actually wrote all of his books. And it's funny, but it's also really sad.
It's very sad. And then you have, Barton realizing, oh my God, like all this stuff. Yeah. I don't really know what to trust anymore. I was in New York doing good work. Now I came out here to all these liars and schemers. Yeah.
These people who are literally trapping him in a contract where they're going to own anything he writes.
Crazy. Ugh. Crazy.
And he actually does write the movie, and he's proud of it, but they don't think it's good enough.
Yeah.
And that's sad. They're like, you think you're the only writer who can give me that Barton Fink flavor. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck, man.
Crazy.
What a way to hear, like, for a writer to hear that you're worthless.
Yeah, you're just like the next guy. Yeah.
Exactly. We got a whole mess of people like you.
And John Turturro does so well at just being that unassuming and naive almost and vulnerable. Oh, boy.
Favorite character, Charlie Meadows. Absolutely.
100%.
Or Carl Munt, if you want to be...
Yeah.
Such a psychopath.
He's insane.
Also kind of a decent friend, weirdly.
Yeah, and at the beginning he's great, talking to him, trying to get acquainted with him, gives him a drink, That's my favorite bit of the movie. My favorite scene is when their first encounter between Goodman and Turturro. Why are those two so good together?
I don't know.
It seems like there's something that they have that's I would love to see them two make a movie now together.
That would be fantastic.
That would be wonderful. Nothing something new. Doesn't need to be like a flashback to anything Coen. Give me something new between those two as the age they are now. That'd be great.
I would love that.
That'd be fantastic. Yes.
All right.
What do we got next? 1994?
The Hudsucker Proxy.
Yeah.
Which they co-wrote with old friend Sam Raimi.
Mm-hmm.
Stars Tim Robbins as Norval Barnes, a naive business school grad who moves to New York City in 1958 to be a success. He gets a job in the mailroom of Hudsucker Industries, just as the CEO, Waring Hudsucker, played by Charles Durning, jumps out the window of the 45th floor. Waring's partner, Sidney J. Musburger, played by Paul Newman, decides to make Norval the sitting president as part of a stock scam to get rich at the start of the new year. It co-stars Jennifer Jason Leigh as Amy Archer, John Mahoney as Chief, and Bruce Campbell as Smitty. Has an IMDb score of 7.2, a Rotten Tomatoes score of 56%. I give it a 7. It's decent at first, but it kind of loses me towards the end.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 7 as well. 56% is pretty harsh.
I agree.
That's kind of mean.
Yeah.
I would say alone from the way I think Robbins is pretty good in it.
Yeah.
He's also at the tippy top of his game. Shawshank's right around the corner. So
this was the same year as Shawshank.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then, Paul Newman's wonderful in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, along the performances, you said, it does get a little bit stale, especially if you rewatch it. That initial watch is probably... I don't quite remember it, but it's I remember it being a lot of fun. But yeah, like you said, now it's one of those ones where it does get a little more stale or run of the mill. The stakes are never that high in these movies.
True.
They're never like crazy. Oh, millions and millions of dollars bank heist. Oh, like we got to steal this diamond. It's just very run of the mill, average stuff. And this one just kind of just doesn't execute like the others do.
And honestly, I think Sam Raimi's involvement hurts it. I think
it's got to.
Yeah, the Coens are at their best when it's just them.
Yeah, when it's like they have everything's theirs.
Yeah,
because clearly Raimi's eye is different. Clearly,
true. He's a lot more wacky.
Yeah.
But this film does have it's highly stylized. It looks great
for sure.
It feels like a 1950s comic strip.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and it's got some great moments. But it's there's something about it. It's just, I think it's too much at times.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Like, the way they react to things, it feels like a cartoon sometimes. And
which is a Coen, they do that. But this is, again, sometimes you can't put your finger on it. It's just not as good. It just doesn't execute as well as Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
As the wackiness in that movie. So it just doesn't... And it's got to be something... It's got, like you said, it's got to be something to do with Raimi. It's got to be... I don't know.
Yeah. And that's no insult to Sam Raimi. Like, his work is great, too.
Oh, man, yeah.
I mean, Evil Dead is one of my favorite franchises.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But, I don't know. Sometimes people just... their work doesn't mesh as well as you think it should.
When you collaborate, it's just going to be different.
Yeah, exactly. And this was a box office bomb, but,
yeah.
I mean, you can't win them all.
No, I've heard people talk very highly about this too. Like big Coen fans who are kind of like, they've seen them all 100 times and kind of like us, but they'd disagree with that 56% from Rotten Tomatoes.
I do think that's a little low.
It is hard. It's just harsh.
Yeah,
it's just kind of mean. So I don't see what the movie did to deserve to deserve that low of a rating. So yeah, I would give it a 7 as well.
Favorite scene? What would you say?
Favorite scene is the introduction when Paul Newman is initially coming with the idea, or Musburger's coming with the idea to appoint someone who's dumb, naive, and then you see Tim Robbins in the mailing room, and it's just a really fun scene because Tim Robbins is just kind of pushing this cart, and there's a guy in his ear, and there's people who keep coming up to him. It just sets the tone really well for the movie, and I like their character introduction a lot, and I think it's the strongest part of this movie.
Okay.
Well, what about for you?
Probably when Norval is tasked with delivering the blue letter to Musburger.
Oh, yeah, classic.
Everyone freaks out. The blue letter is very important, high-ranking information. And he delivers it to Musburger. Musburger is about to go into a big deal with John Polito, actually.
Yes.
And Norval accidentally starts trashing the guy's office, trying to deliver this letter, and it ends up with Norval holding Musburger out of the window by his pants. And Musburger has a realization, I've found my dope. And yeah, I love that you hear John Polito say something like, I'm not waiting any longer, or is he going to jump out the window too?
Yeah.
And it pans over and he's hanging out the window.
Classic.
I like that.
That's a classic Coen bit. Yeah.
My favorite character is Waring Hudsucker.
Well, it's Musburger, Paul Newman. I'm mesmerized by him still.
Paul Newman's fantastic.
Yeah.
But there is something about Charles Durning.
I adore
Charles Durning.
Yeah, fair enough.
And his role in this, you only see him twice, once at the beginning, once at the end, but his introduction is unbelievable. You just see him kind of stare out the window, take out his watch, stand on the desk, and just bolt right out the window. No words. What the fuck?
So good.
And then at the end, he shows up as an angel to save Tim Robbins.
Absurd. You're like, crazy. Wait a minute, what am I watching now? Yeah.
Wearing Hudsucker.
You like Tim Robbins in this, or is Andy Dufresne?
Oh, Andy Dufresne, without a doubt. But I do like Tim Robbins' performance in this.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, the goofy dude from Muncie.
Which
Go Eagles.
He does so well, Tim Robbins, just being this unassuming. I'm just a banker. I'm a banker from Port. Yeah, I don't know. He's great. He's great.
I love it.
What's he doing now? I feel like
he's going to be in season 2 of Castle Rock. I know that.
Great, good.
He's going to be playing the head of a crime family, the Merrill family.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that'll be cool. Going back into Stephen King with him. Mm-hmm. And I like when Stephen King legacies appear on shows like that.
Oh yeah, me too.
Really cool.
Of course.
But yeah, so good. I love Tim Robbins. He's one of my favorites.
He's awesome. One of my favorite performances, I don't know if you've seen it, is Mystic River.
I love him in Mystic River.
He's so
That
good.
is such a dark movie.
All three of those guys are fucking incredible.
Oh my god.
Insane movie.
I can't wait till we do a Clint Eastwood episode, talk about his directing.
Oh boy.
And he's done so many films, both as an actor and a director.
I was going to say, do we do a duel?
We'd have to do
his whole...
We'd have to do one as an actor, one as a director.
Because there's too much.
It's two different Clints.
Yeah, too much. He's still alive.
He is. And he's still working.
Oh, yeah. Just last year, he had one of my favorite movies he's ever come out with.
The Mule?
Yeah. That was fucking awesome.
I didn't get a chance to see it.
Yeah, I think you'd like it a lot.
I really want to watch it, yeah.
It's good, man. Anyways.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood.
On to 1996.
Yeah. 1996. This was a big one for them. Fargo.
The big one.
A crime thriller about a car salesman in Brainerd, Minnesota, who hires 2 thugs to kidnap his wife so her rich father will pay the ransom. But everything goes horribly wrong, as it usually does. And it couldn't go worse.
Yeah, Fargo is the holy grail to most movie fans.
Yeah.
Of the Coen, like Connor said, kind of intersects there perfectly. The crime, drama, high intensity with crazy dark comedy. It really is perfect in this movie. It's not one of my favorites, but I understand everything is on display so well.
Picking favorites with the Coen brothers is tough because they've done so many great movies.
Yeah. It's picking nits. Yeah.
Yeah. It really comes down to personal.
Just your opinion.
Exactly.
That's art. That's how it goes. But Big Lebowski should be on everybody's list.
It's topped my list for years, but we'll get to that. So this stars Frances McDormand as Marge Gunderson, the Brainerd pregnant cop, who is investigating this incident. William H. Macy as Jerry Lundegaard, the worst piece of shit the Coens ever created. This guy, Jerry Lundegaard, is such a son of a bitch.
He's a sleazebag.
He is. But he acts so innocent. That's what pisses me off the most about him.
It's really annoying.
He acts like nothing is his fault.
A little brat. Yeah.
But it's all his fault.
100%.
Yeah.
All these people died because of him.
What a great performance, though. But, Jerry Lundegaard.
Oh, yeah. William H. Macy is fantastic. Loved his 90s stretch. Oh, my God.
Yeah, for
amazing.
Sure. Steve Buscemi as Carl Showalter and Peter Stormare as Geyer Grimswood, the 2 thugs.
So good.
They have a great back and forth. Especially Peter Stormare. He's a goddamn psycho in this movie. Harv Presnell as Wade Gustafson, Jerry's father-in-law, and John Carroll Lynch as Norm Gunderson, Marge's husband.
Love John Carroll Lynch.
They have a great relationship. I don't say shit like this a lot, but relationship goals right there. I want
between Norm and Marge.
Yeah, it's just it's mutually respect. They're both in love. They just are happy.
Yeah,
I love that.
Brings her a burger or whatever.
She goes and picks him up some worms for fishing. They're just nice.
Just lovely.
It's quaint.
Man.
I like it.
Good old Midwesterners.
And I love John Carroll Lynch.
Oh yeah,
he never.
Me too.
He never gets enough credit, I don't think. But
he can do this, and then he can be,
the Zodiac Killer. If you conspired, if you believe that.
Yeah, if you're a Fincherite. Yeah.
Fargo won 2 Oscars: Best Actress for Frances McDormand and Best Original Screenplay for the Coens. This was their first Oscar. It was also nominated for Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor for William H. Macy, Best Director, Best Cinematography, and Best Film Editing for the Coens under their alias Roderick Jaynes.
Yeah.
It has an IMDb score of 8.1, Rotten Tomatoes score of 93%. I give it an 8. And what do you?
Same. Yeah. 8 for me as well.
This is the one that put the Coens on the map. Some people knew about them up to now, but this was the one that propelled them to pretty much Hollywood superstardom.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then Marge became an iconic character.
Yeah.
And influenced. really hope a lot of people watch the show, the FX show. I think you were about to bring that up. But
yes.
Marge influences the main character. You're like 100%. Yeah. And so, great stuff.
The movie had a sequel of sorts in the form of an FX TV series, Fargo, developed by Noah Hawley. It's an anthology series with each season featuring a different story set in the areas of Brainerd, Minnesota and Fargo, North Dakota. Its 4th season is set for 2020, so give us a little info on the show.
Starring Chris Rock.
Really?
Season 4.
Jeez.
Season 1 is, fantastic. Deals a little bit with... It has some things that are connecting to the movie. Season 2, not at all. Season 3, not at all. It just, like you said, the setting is very similar, and it's got that same feel to it. Noah Hawley is just obsessed with the Coens and wanted to recreate that for TV, because he always wanted the Coens to make a TV show, but they never did, because they love making films. So, he just... it was kind of an ode, and then he became a hit, and he's like, well, I gotta keep making seasons, so... again, I can't wait for that 4th season a year from now. Or not... it's not... I actually think it might be sooner than that.
Oh.
I think it might be in the spring sometime. I'm not totally sure, but I know Chris Rock is the lead, which is fantastic.
He's doing a lot of strange, off-character stuff lately.
Yeah, this show has worked with, Billy Bob Thornton, who's a Coen guy.
Yep.
It's worked with, you got Colin Hanks, who's incredible, Bob Odenkirk, David Thewlis, Patrick Wilson.
You had me at Bob Odenkirk.
Kirsten Dunst, Kieran Culkin, Jesse Plemons. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The show's amazing, and I think the Coens have influenced so much other pop culture.
Yes.
That's just the big one, is that TV show.
I am planning to check that out in the near future.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. Everyone should go check that out. It's so good. It's amazing.
Fantastic. So, my favorite scene of this movie is when Marge is questioning Jerry about the missing car, and it slowly turns into an interrogation as he starts getting a little snippy, and Marge cuts him off. Like, don't talk to me like that.
There's a scene from Fargo season 1 that's almost identical to it. It's amazing.
Fantastic.
There's different circumstances, of course, but very just they're both just playing chess, Here we go. And one of them sucks at it.
And Marge shows great instincts in this film. Her police work is top notch.
She's the only one who's not kind of brain dead as far as the police. They make the police look pretty dumb, and I think that's a big problem for a lot of Midwesterners who actually live in these places. Mm-hmm. They kind of make us look dumb, but they're from there too, so I don't know.
This is the way they talk, the accents. You're like, oh yeah,
yeah, strange how.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. All right.
Oh, is this squirrely looking fella?
How do I say this without getting offensive here? They sound less intelligent than they are. I'm not saying they're stupid.
Yeah,
it sounds goofy.
It's just simpler. There's less words used. If that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah.
At all. That's not the point at all. Because my brother lives in Minnesota. His girlfriend's from there. My dad's from there. Yeah. I love Minnesota. But I think what they're trying to point out a certain kind of person who lives in that area. And it's not all people who live downtown. It's these suburb rural. I don't know.
Shit like this doesn't happen in those areas.
Yeah. Just these normal
a triple homicide.
The everyday kind of people. Yeah. And then you got a guy like Carl Showalter and Gare coming in. He's kidnapping this lady. That's a big deal in this neighborhood.
Extremely, yeah.
So, yeah.
What's your favorite scene?
Oh, man, I go back and forth. I really like when they kidnap her. I think that's genius because her reaction's hilarious. It's like she's watching a movie. It's like she's watching a movie because she is watching TV and she's knitting or whatever. And then she sees them outside the window and they got the ski masks on. And those two together are just wonderful. The chemistry and how they kind of hate each other. And I love Gary's cigarettes always just it's like he's not even smoking. It's just got ash, that's 3 inches long. Hilarious. And I think that's the pinnacle of it is when I was laughing really hard, but also kind of freaked out for her. So good.
That scene alone, I think, perfectly defines what the Coens are able to pull off. It's hilarious, but it's scary.
And I think that's why this one's so popular amongst us giving it an 8. People might be like, "Oh, well, you're talking about it like it's a 10." It is very good, but it's a little more on the nose than the rest of these movies that him and I like, that Connor and I like. Mm-hmm. Whereas a movie that I love, like A Serious Man, is a little bit harder to follow or harder to comprehend.
Yeah.
Fargo is that's why it's so popular.
It's very much like a mainstream on a silver platter.
Anyone can watch it, and they're going to understand, like, the story is not, like, all over the place or chaotic.
It's a brilliant story.
It's amazing. It's, like, cut and dry, perfect. And that's why it's, it's influenced things. And that kind of storytelling is so cool. And it feels like it's on such a high level in this movie. But don't let that fool you. They do have other work that's, to me, a little bit more special.
Yes, very well said. Favorite character?
Carl. Yeah, Steve Buscemi. Yeah.
He's such a shit in this movie.
He's terrible. But I don't know. I like guys. I like the wild card. I like when he's holding his face, that whole...
Open the fucking gate!
And he's driving back, yeah. Just shut the fucking face!
I love when he decides not to, like, I decided not to park here, and he's like, well, you still gotta pay your $4. He's like, really? You're a big man?
Yeah.
Here's your fucking $4, piece of shit. He just goes off on this guy.
So good. Oh my god! I also love that chase down scene when they go back Garrett goes back he's like, give me the driver's seat. I'm about to chase those punks down,
and he finds like the car just wrecked. Like, oh god, what a nightmare for those people.
Genius. That's a great bit.
Yeah.
That's where you actually are like, okay, I'm kind of scared right now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of scared of these guys right now.
And of course, we go past Fargo without talking about the wood chipper.
Oh, well, classic.
Yeah.
What a great way.
What the fuck?
What a great that had to be put in the movie at some point.
My grandma, who hates violent movies, doesn't like horror movies at all, loves Fargo.
Yeah. Okay, there you go too. My mom can watch Fargo. My mom thinks horror is kind of redundant and a waste of time. But yeah, I know.
Knife in the heart, right there.
My mom's not listening. I curse too much in this show for my mom to listen. No, everybody likes Fargo. I guess that's our point.
Yeah,
I understand that. It's not anywhere near my favorite movies of theirs.
But Marge comes upon Gare shoving Steve Buscemi's foot into a wood chipper. The rest of his body having already been chopped.
You can hear it grinding.
Yeah, and he's getting it's jammed. He's trying to shove it in there with a piece of wood, and Marge is just like, whoa, and she takes out her gun. She's like, freeze! This is not a normal day for her.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and I think that scene is why Marge is my favorite character. She takes him down.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And Marge, I swear to you, go on the internet. Marge is at the top of every fucking list on the internet for best characters that the Coens have come up with. Totally fair. Totally understand that.
The hero of this movie is a pregnant cop
who takes down some nasty
almost
people.
Single-handedly.
Yeah, I would say pretty much.
Yeah, she's goddamn hero.
Pretty much. Yeah. In the show, our lead cop, she doesn't have to do it totally by herself, but it's also kind of like that same where she's just a step ahead of everybody, but Marge is 300 pages ahead of everybody. Yeah. She's finished the book. Everybody else is still on the fucking, the table of contents.
I love it. Fargo.
Yeah, good stuff. There's a reason we talk about it for a while, is because it's kind of their, in most people's eyes, their masterpiece.
So Fargo, as we said, put the Coens on the map. So now they had the ability to pretty much write their own ticket, and everyone wanted to know what they were going to do next.
No rules at this point. No rules. What would you compare that to? Would you say it's like when we did Jaws a couple weeks ago? So would you say it's like Spielberg's Jaws, where it's like, all right, dude, you kind of have freedom to be as creative as you want to be?
Yeah, I would equate it to that.
Yeah, you'd say that's all right, man. Yeah. You've mastered what you can do. We trust you guys.
Lucas after Star Wars, Coppola after The Godfather.
Yeah.
Everybody has their movie,
their moment.
That turns them.
And it's also got it's got to do with age as well. I think the Coens kind of moving forward as creators are, and who they're working with. They're starting to work with masters of the game.
It was starting to get to the point where actors would kill to be in a Coen Brothers movie. Every actor wants that phone call.
Exactly.
And that's got to feel great.
And this next one has maybe my favorite cast they ever had.
They followed Fargo, which is with the film that is arguably their masterpiece.
Are both our favorite.
Yeah. Very few people thought that at the time, though. It was a box office bomb, and it's only, it gained a gradual cult following over the years. And today,
no nominations for anything.
Yeah. Today, people, this is their most beloved film now. 1998's The Big Lebowski. Starring Jeff Bridges as Jeffrey Lebowski, a.k.a. The Dude. A lazy pothead bowler who gets sucked into a kidnapping scheme when two thugs break into his apartment and piss on his rug, mistaking him for the other Jeffrey Lebowski in town, who's a millionaire. Co-stars John Goodman as Walter Sobchak, his psycho Vietnam veteran friend, And arguably my favorite movie character of all time.
He's so good.
Steve Buscemi as Donnie, Walter's little friend, who never gets to have a word in edgewise. David Huddleston as the Big Lebowski. Philip Seymour Hoffman as Brant, his goofy little assistant.
Unbelievable. Chameleon, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Julianne Moore as Maud Lebowski, the uber feminist who recruits the dude for her own ends. John Turturro as Jesus Quintana, a pederast. Tara Reid as Bunny, the Big Lebowski's gold digger wife. Peter Stormare as Uli Kunkel, a.k.a. Carl Hungus. A nihilist porn star guy. More on that. Sam Elliott as the stranger, the cowboy who's narrating this whole thing. John Polito as DeFino, a private dick, Brother Seamus. And Ben Gazzara as Jackie Treehorn, local pornographer and kind of publisher guy. Rich guy in town, basically. The Big Lebowski.
And fucking Flea from the Chili Peppers.
Flea is one of the nihilists.
David Thewlis?
David Thewlis is the video guy with the funny laugh.
The dude's like, what the fuck is this guy? Alright, yeah, sorry.
Mark Pellegrino, a TV actor.
It's loaded. This movie's locked and loaded.
There's so many people in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's flawless. This movie is perfection.
Stellar.
It's hilarious. I laugh harder every time I watch it. One of my favorite movies. It's since become the ultimate cult classic, really.
Yeah, it's like the definition of a cult classic.
It inspired Lebowski Fest, an annual festival that celebrates the movie, everything about it. They host them in cities all over the country. Sparked a world religion called Dudism, which promotes easy living and going with the flow. I am actually, in fact, ordained as a Dudist priest. In certain states, I am permitted to officiate weddings. So, dude abides. A spin-off is currently in the works, titled The Jesus Rolls. Stars John Turturro as Jesus Quintana.
I don't want it.
Not really sure that movie needs to be made, but I'm going to see it.
Yeah.
And I think no other film of theirs has had such a monumental impact on pop culture like The Big Lebowski. This movie is everywhere. It has been everywhere for almost over 20 years now. And I adore this film.
Oh, same.
God, where do I even start with The Big Lebowski?
I don't know. We can have a few episodes on The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
huge movie. I kind of want to start for both of us. Let's go over the movie as a whole. When is the first time you saw it?
I saw this film for the first time at a beach house when I was about 12.
Okay.
With my mom and dad. They love this movie.
They love the Coens.
And they wanted to show it to me, and I watched it, and I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Like, I fell in love with this movie immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I was around the same age. I was thinking it was 12 or 13. I watched it by myself. My brother had it on DVD. And one of those nights where I was, I'm 12, so I have nothing to do but sit at home. I remember getting a couple Coke cans from my mom and dad loved Coke, and they still do, but the soda, and I just went stole a couple of theirs, went upstairs, watched it, and again, I couldn't keep myself from laughing so hard. It was the first time I heard "fuck" over and over and over and over and over again.
For a long time, this movie held the record of the most fucks in a movie.
Yeah. It is so awesome. And hearing that, then I, of course, started using that word, and immediately became interested in marijuana, immediately became interested in movies more, immediately became interested in John Goodman. Everything was just like, holy shit, all of this stuff is so cool. I need to know. Bowling's the only thing that didn't hit for me. Everything else. Wow. The music is wonderful.
It's one of the best soundtracks.
That was really my introduction into Santana, CCR, Bob Dylan. I had heard those bands and those artists before, but this is again, everything was on steroids, it felt like.
What do you think is the best music moment in this movie?
The opening, Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan's The Man in Me.
With the tumbleweed. Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. Sets the tone again. They're so good at that. They're so good at putting you here's the couch, sit down for 2 hours and listen to me tell you a story. It's so wonderful.
Yeah.
They distract me so well. The Coens. They even tell you that before their most recent movie, Ballad of Buster Scruggs. They tell you that, about storytelling. It's a distraction. We all love distraction, so let me distract you with a story. And they just do it. And they do it over and over. And The Big Lebowski has, a character like Jesus who means nothing to the movie, means nothing to the plot, but is you're glued to the screen when he's there. Oh, fuck you in the ass. What is this guy? Who wrote that? A guy wrote that? For a character? It's so
You
original.
got a date Wednesday, man.
Yeah.
God
I'm
damn.
gonna fuck you in the ass. So good.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I really, really want to watch it. Every time I think about it or talk about it, or it gets mentioned, or I see a poster, I just want to watch it.
Yeah.
I just want to sit and watch it. And it's easy 10 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get that out of the way.
Yeah.
But what else do you like? What else gets you just amped about this movie? Like when you get to talk about it and go back in your mind and immerse yourself in it.
The cast, absolutely.
The characters,
characters.
Yeah.
The writing. The writing is so like popping. There's no improvisation in this film. It feels improvised because of the ums and the mans.
It's a bummer, man.
Yeah, but everything is written down. I love that.
Yeah,
The Coens run such a tight ship when it comes to their dialogue, and it pays off.
I talk the way I talk because of this movie. Because of like Pulp Fiction. There's a few movies.
There's lines in this movie.
I talk because of this stuff.
There's lines in this movie that have become part of my lexicon.
100%.
Yeah.
Like
shut the
see
fuck
what
up,
happens,
Johnny.
Larry?
Yeah.
Do you see? I just say that to my friends. Like if I'm like, say I'm like playing you in a video game and I'm beating you. I'm like, see what happens, Connor? Like I'm gonna use that tone because it's awesome. Because it's fucking awesome, and it's so cool. It's so cool when you meet another Lebowski, like, huge fan, like fanatic, like we are. And that was one of the first things him and I talked about when we became friends. Was like, you just kind of talk about those things, especially when you work in a movie theater.
Yeah,
you're like, okay, what movies do you like? And Lebowski is just immediately both for us. Like, it's probably one of my top. I don't know. I don't want to say a number, but like 10 movies of all time.
It's in my top
10. I love it,
absolutely.
And rewatchability, top 5. Like, I could just watch it over and over and over. And I do. I've seen it so many times. It's like I would have thought I got tired of it by now, but I still see stuff I haven't seen before. So it's incredible, wonderful stuff.
Incredible. It has an IMDb score of 8.1, Rotten Tomatoes score of 83%, and 10.
10 from both
Absolutely.
of us. Yeah,
flawless, hilarious, never gets old.
Yeah, and Walter's definitely both our favorite character.
I've had the privilege of introducing this movie to 3 of my cousins. I'm introducing my cousins to this movie.
Oh, man.
And they've all loved it. And I feel like such a proud cousin when they're laughing their asses off at the same scenes
it's Lebowski.
It's a generational film.
You want the money, Lebowski?
You're killing your father, Larry. Walter has the best quotes in this movie.
He's the best quotes ever.
My mom pointed out that the way she watches it is that she imagines that Walter wasn't even in Nam. That he's a pathological liar.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
And this,
I'm gonna sit here, drink my coffee.
Oh, please, dear? Just everything about that man is insane. And easily favorite character, no contest. Favorite scene.
You go ahead.
Okay.
We differ on this one.
Walter takes a crowbar to the Corvette, screaming to Larry, "All right, got plan B." You might want to look out that front window, Larry. This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. Just goes ape shit on this vet. That's not even that the guy pops out like, "What are you doing in my car?" It's so fucking great. The guy starts destroying the dude's car, and then at the end of that, they still went to In-N-Out Burger.
Wonderful.
Walter and Donnie are eating burgers. The windshield is gone, and dude is super pissed. While Santana's Oya Como Va starts playing.
It is so good.
Every time I see that scene, I gotta pause and just regroup because I'm laughing so hard.
Yeah, same. What does it say? I was watching one time the edited version, and instead
when you find a stranger in the Alps. Yeah, holy shit. Wow.
That's incredible. Oh, so good.
Jesus.
I love it so much, man.
But there's so many great scenes in this, like Jesus' introduction for one.
Everybody's character introduction. Mods when he goes to her,
God.
And she comes flying in. David Thewlis, the first time you see him. Jackie Treehorn, wonderful.
One of my favorite lines is when dude meets Maud, and the first thing she asks him is, "Do you like sex?" And he's like, "I was talking about my rug." She's like, "What, you don't like sex?" He's like, "You mean coitus?" He's so out of it. He can't believe he's dealing with this shit the whole time.
Yeah.
Just because some asshole pissed on his rug.
It's so cool. Oh, man.
You couldn't... I could never make up something like this.
No, it's almost like it's not scripted.
No, I'm not creative enough to make a film like The Big Lebowski.
Neither am I. And I really, if I could, and I don't know if I'll ever have the mindset or the capacity to do so, to make movies, this is exactly the stuff I would want to make. That just feels like an acid trip. That's like, what is going on? But it has some serious substance.
Yeah.
And it has some characters that are saying things that are like, wow, that's like really reflective of our country. Oh, boy, I really enjoy this movie. I got to point out, the first time we meet Walter and Donnie, and the first time we really see them that they're bowlers? Okay, I guess that's part of the movie. It's like an SNL sketch. Again, on steroids, or on crack or something, because it's John Goodman playing the role he was born to play.
Yeah.
And it's Steve Buscemi doing what he's best at, which is just
being there.
Being there. Which is just being there, just contributing by like
what he does.
His face, the way he carries himself, and when he like gets a spare, or like almost gets a spare, and he's like, all those little things that
I'm
the
throwing
characters
rocks
do.
tonight.
Yes. Unbelievable. And I can't get enough of it. I watch that scene a lot because it's like so easy. It's so early in the movie. I could watch that over and over and over. But there's like you said, there's so many.
I always wonder, like, how
the acid trip is wonderful.
Oh, that's great.
It's so off the wall.
The gutter balls?
Yeah. Just walked in to see what condition my condition was in.
He's dressed as a cable guy. Saddam Hussein's handing out bowling shoes. Yeah. Jesus Christ, I love it.
It is insane. It is. I understand why people didn't understand it in theaters. I get it. I don't think I totally understood. I was blown away and entertained by it the first time I saw it, but then it took like 10 times seeing it to be like, oh my god, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's not just a dude comedy or like a bro potheads. Like,
it's an intelligent comedy.
It's
so
awesome.
much fun. Like, I could watch this with my grandparents. Like, they love it.
It's so stylized. The style is beautiful.
And it's so quotable. Endlessly quotable. Yeah. I had a poster on my dorm room wall that said, WWTJD. What would the Jesus do? And it had Quintana doing the ball clean thing.
Yeah.
And my roommate was like, what was that? And I'm like, it's a long story.
Don't worry about it.
If you don't get it now, I don't have time to explain it to you.
We want the money, Lebowski. Wonderful. Wonderful. Anything else you got to say about Lebowski? I mean, there's so much.
Yeah.
We could go through every scene. We'll do. You know what? We'll do that, right? A bonus at some point.
I'm totally down for a bonus on Lebowski.
On Lebowski, yeah. We'll both like really
table that.
We'll do a lot of research.
This needs to be.
Or you guys give us if you guys want that.
Yeah,
we'll fucking tease that.
Any Coen brothers you want us to go in further detail on, just let us know, and we will totally go do a bonus episode.
This is just the one we'd have the most fun doing.
This is our favorite, but if you want us to do like,
I'll do anything.
Any of them.
Yeah, it's very clear that we both have a lot to say.
Oh yeah, we could spend the rest of this podcast.
Well, because there's so many like little theories that are on the internet about it, and
like I read one that it was a retelling of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. Which a lot of I'd say a lot of like art is because going down the rabbit hole. It's like, well, but this is like it's a very clear on the nose,
it's like a very clear rabbit hole. Yeah.
Oh my god. And and the when being the age I was when I saw it, and being curious about that kind of stuff, like smoking weed or like music and stuff like that. Just, I wish I could go back to that time because my imagination was so big and so vast that when I saw this movie, I was just like, you're allowed to do that on the screen. It's the same feeling I get with Tarantino. It's like, you're allowed to do that. It's like, well, yeah, you can because he did it. Just wonderful. It's really hard again with the Coens when it hits. It's hard to put your finger on it, but it just does. It just looks so good and sounds so good, and they've mastered it. They've mastered how to make movies, and this is our favorite one.
Absolutely,
Lebowski,
for sure.
We didn't really talk about Brandt enough. See, this is why we need a whole. We could go through each character. They're all so good. PSH, like he's arguably the most versatile actor to ever live, and he's showing it. He's showing it here, just being this like. I don't even know. How do you describe him in this movie?
A eunuch. That's the vibe I always got.
Yeah. Oh, he's great. Not his actual children.
Yeah. Please don't touch that.
Over and over his face, and then when Bunny says, "I'll suck your cock for $1,000,"
and he just starts laughing. That's marvelous. And just walks away. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So good.
I love Brandt.
Me too.
My favorite Brandt moment is when the Big Lebowski's in seclusion.
Yeah.
And he starts, talking about Bunny, and he's like, strong men also cry. He pans over, and Brandt is like holding it together, like just about to collapse into tears.
Jesus, man. PSH was a fucking phenom.
He was.
Jesus Christ, he was good.
Her life is in your hands, dude. don't say that. God. Perfect.
My advice to you, get a job!
The bum's lost.
Oh, my God. At least I'm housebroken.
Obviously, you're not a golfer. It never stops.
Yeah, we better stop.
Yeah,
all right. Let's
moving
move on.
Yeah, we're gonna be stuck here for a while. All right,
we will. We'll do a bonus. That just proved that we need a bonus. We'll do it.
Certain movies need the full hour. All right, so the Coens followed Lebowski with another fantastic comedy, 2000's "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?", an adaptation of the Odyssey by Homer that is now set in Mississippi in the 1930s. The title was borrowed from the 1941 Preston Sturges film Sullivan's Travels, whose lead character had planned to make a film with that title. So, the Coens like to do that. Their titles often don't have much to do with the movie.
Yeah.
It's like a little thing taken from something previous that inspired them, which is cool.
Or it's like Fargo. It's just a city, you know? Like,
which is weird because almost the whole movie takes place in Brainerd.
It's like all in Minnesota.
Yeah. I don't know. But
I like that. I like that. I think that's interesting. Because I really don't care too much about titles at all.
Me neither.
I really don't.
The film stars George Clooney as Ulysses Everett McGill, a prisoner who escapes the chain gang with fellow ne'er-do-wells Pete, played by John Turturro, and Delmar, played by Tim Blake Nelson.
Oh, yeah.
Convincing them to join him on a hunt for a great treasure that he says he knows the location of. Co-stars John Goodman as Big Dan Teague, a crazy Bible salesman Klan member.
Oh my God.
He's the Cyclops of the Odyssey.
Insane.
Holly Hunter as Penny, Everett's ex-wife. Chris Thomas King as Tommy Johnson, stand-in for real-life guitarist Robert Johnson, who famously sold his soul at the Crossroads to play the guitar. Charles Durning as Pappy O'Daniel, the governor of Mississippi, who's running for re-election. I love Charles Durning in this. You sumbitch, just the way he talks. Michael Badalucco as George Babyface Nelson, real-life gangster who was known for robbing banks alongside Dillinger and Pretty Boy Floyd. And Wayne Duvall as Homer Stokes, the guy running against Pappy O'Daniel for governor, and also the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan in Mississippi. The film is nominated for 2 Oscars, Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Cinematography. It has an IMDb score of 7.7, a Rotten Tomatoes score of 77%. Straight up 10 for me. Oh Brother is one of their best. Absolutely hilarious.
I give it a 9, yeah. I love it as well. Very, very funny. And really cool follow-up to Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what crazy range. Like,
back to back.
And John Goodman fucking kills it again. I love Big Dan Teague.
He's so great.
Why is he so good at everything that they
It's
give
not my
him?
favorite scene, but one of my favorite scenes is when he takes Delmar and Everett out to lunch.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's
oh my
favorite.
God, he just starts beating the shit out of him. It's like I don't get it, Big Dan.
That's
what are
number
you
one.
getting at?
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, Big Dan.
Oh, psycho. And actually, I thought this was funny. The Coens never actually read the Odyssey to prep for this.
Wow.
They just, like pretty much every high school and college kid, they skimmed through the Cliff Notes and just got the highlights. I love that. And this was kind of cool. The film's soundtrack was a surprise hit. It actually had more success than the film. Mm-hmm. It won 5 Grammys, including Album of the Year.
Crazy.
And it's all like folky music.
Yeah.
And Alison Krauss.
I still listen to Big Rock Candy Mountain.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I Am a Man of Constant Sorrow is on constant loop. I love that song.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, feeling nice and, on a nice drive home.
Yeah, Oh Brother is one of my favorites.
It is very good. I think this is one of the ones that unfairly gets lost in the mix.
I agree. Yeah.
Maybe even by myself as well. Maybe I just haven't seen it as much as the others or people in general. But it is very strong and very funny. Fargo, Lebowski in this is just a kick-ass stretch.
Oh, yeah.
Kick-ass stretch.
Insane.
really just showing the world. They're working with, like, all-time guys. Jeff Bridges, George Clooney. Like, this is crazy. Insane. Insane that he's working with these people and getting them to do stuff that they've never done before on the screen. So.
Nobody ever seen Clooney like this.
We didn't talk about that enough with Clooney or Bridges. Like, this is not them. This is not. They changed who they were.
Well, I think with the dude, I think that's the closest we've ever seen the real Jeff Bridges, honestly.
The real Jeff Bridges. But on the screen, Jeff Bridges
persona,
was like a whole different... Yeah. People all saw him as like an all-American, like, different kind of... Yeah.
Tron, Starman.
And here he is like, fuck capitalism. Like, I'm just gonna, wander about. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And Clooney, up to that point, was... he was the handsome guy on ER.
Yeah,
he was in the
TV star.
The shitty Batman movie.
Yep.
His career was kind of like... He's very much a movie star.
And he's just about to do...
Yeah. But this was the film that, for me, made him... showed he was a character actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, dude, Everett McGill is a... Oh, he's so great. He's a con man. He was sent to jail for practicing dentistry without a license.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. He lies to Delmar and Pete about the treasure so he can get out of there because they're, connected to him.
Yeah.
And he's great. I love him. Clooney's the man. I love his Coen work.
Me too. That's his best work.
Yeah,
for me,
absolutely.
In my opinion, I'm not a huge Oceans fan, so that's.
I like the first one.
I like it. Yeah. It's just not. I don't know. We'll get to that maybe someday.
Yeah,
maybe.
My favorite scene is the Ku Klux Klan rally, where the Klan gets a hold of Tommy. And Everett, Pete, and Delmar go undercover as Klan guys to save him. Mm-hmm. It's so creepy the way they're doing their ritual. I just mentioned to you earlier, it feels like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
The Wicked Witch's henchman. It's Ralph. You hear Ralph Stanley's vocals only rendition of "Oh Death," and it's so unnerving. You realize Big Dan and Homer Stokes are Klan members,
which is what a climax.
And Big Dan's hood has only one eye slit. That's such a great little thing.
I hope John Goodman did that. It was like, I'm just going to do one. He cut it himself.
Oh, so good. And they won't let the Confederate flag touch the ground. So it's coming at. They throw it and it's coming at John Goodman and he catches it. Before it hits him in the face, and then they just cut loose the giant wooden cross that's on fire, and it just crushes Big Dan. So fitting.
It really, it is, and that happens a lot with the Coens, where you see fateful death coming your way.
And then later on, when Homer Stokes is trying to turn everybody against the Soggy Bottom Boys, he just announces now look, I belong to a certain secret society. I don't believe I got to mention its name. Such a shit. I love it.
So good. What a scene.
Yeah. And you said your favorite part was when Big Dan...
Yeah, that too. I can't choose between those two. The rally is amazing. It's chaos. Mass chaos.
Oh, for sure. Who's your favorite character?
Big Dan.
Big Dan.
Yeah. What about you?
Delmar.
Clooney. Yeah.
No, Delmar, the
okay. And Tim Blake Nelson, this is probably his... I liked him in Buster Scruggs, but I think this is my favorite movie he's ever been in.
He's such a soft-hearted dope.
Yeah.
I love him.
Except for in Holes. Fuck him in Holes, dude.
Pendansky.
He's a piece of shit. I love when Zero hits him with the shovel. It's great.
I think this is the second time we've gone off on a Holes tangent. We keep coming back to that one.
It's a classic. Maybe we'll do a bonus episode on that, too. Holes.
Yeah, I love Holes.
Me too. It's a fun movie.
Yeah. Oh, Brother, solid flick.
Yeah. You gave it a 10?
I did.
Yeah, it's a 9 from me. Oh, boy. Where are we standing at with how many 10s do you have now?
3.
You have Lebowski, this, and...
Arizona.
And Arizona are all 10s, okay.
So far. And actually, I think...
Miller's Crossing?
That was a 9.
You had a 9?
Yeah.
Same.
I think, looking at the list here, that might be all of my 10s.
No Country?
I give that a 9. Yeah, that's all of my 10s for the Coens. So, get ready to be surprised.
I've got 2 more 10s.
Okay, so they followed that with one of their very little-known movies, 2001's The Man Who Wasn't There. A black-and-white film noir.
I believe that's mainly why people didn't watch it.
Yeah. I hate that that's a stigma.
I think that's also why they made it. They're like, fuck you. We want to throw this in our filmography. Black and white.
The way they do it is I'm pretty sure they just talk to each other like, hey, you want to do a film noir? It's like, yeah, sure. Then there it goes. I think that's what they just...
They never worry about how much money they're going to make.
No.
Ever. It's just, what do we want to make?
Yeah. They could give a shit about box office returns.
What a beautiful question to be asking when you're making movies.
Yeah.
You're making art, so it should be what you want to make. It should be what you think should be put on screen. Even if it doesn't hit for everybody every time. I love that. I love that the honesty the integrity they hold throughout their career. It's so cool.
Very true. The film stars Billy Bob Thornton as Ed Crane.
Fuck yeah.
A soft-spoken barber in 1940s California who plans to blackmail his wife's boss and use the money to invest in a dry cleaning business but things go horribly wrong. That's kind of their...
Classic.
Yeah, that's what they do.
But things run them. Yeah. It's just how it goes. Everything... Well, that's kind of how your life goes, right?
Nothing ever... Yeah, if you're going to make
Nothing ever really meets my expectations.
You can never make a plan like that and expect everything to go off without a hitch.
Yeah.
That's not how life works.
There's a quote from The Wire, Lester Freeman. He says, a life, Jimmy, do you know what that is? And Jimmy says, no. And he says, it's the shit that happens when you wait for moments that never come.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, boy. I think the Coens nail that. It's just shit happens.
Yeah.
You get in a little wreck, you get a little dink, you have an encounter with a shitty person. That's just how it goes. And I love that they just keep doing that. They just stick to that. Like, that's what's entertaining.
Absolutely. The film co-stars Frances McDormand as Doris Crane, Ed's wife, James Gandolfini as Big Dave Brewster, her boss, John Polito as Creighton Tolliver, Scarlett Johansson as Bertie Abundis, Richard Jenkins as Walter Abundis, Tony Shalhoub as Freddie Reidenschneider, and Michael Badalucco as Frank. It was nominated for 1 Oscar, Best Cinematography, has an IMDb score of 7.5, Rotten Tomatoes score of 81%. I gave it a 7 a while back. I felt that Scarlett Johansson's role distracted from the plot, frankly.
Very much.
But I haven't seen this one in 4 years. I wish I'd gotten to watch it with fresh eyes, but time got away from me. I had to give it up. So I'm not going to have any favorite scene or favorite character from this one because it just wouldn't be fair.
Huh. That's interesting. Okay, well, I'd definitely say Crane is my favorite. Billy Bob. I think Billy Bob Thornton is wonderful in this movie. I think he as an actor, embodies really well in this one, and what else is he in?
Intolerable Cruelty.
Yeah. The next one. Yeah, I was going to say he's in the next one. He kind of embodies that. I wish he would have been in more. He was in the TV show Fargo. I wish he would have been in more because he's so damn good at just kind of just being evil but making me smile at the same time as a fan. I really enjoy him. Favorite scene? Oh boy, this one's hard. I watched this not that long ago, so jeez, that's hard, dude. ScarJo is because I give it a 7 as well, which just might be one of my lowest of theirs. Mm-hmm. I don't think I could pick out a favorite scene.
It is kind of a forgettable movie.
There's a bit between him and ScarJo, between Billy Bob and ScarJo. That's good, but it's not like a scene that stands out. You know what I'm saying? Mm. So I don't know if I feel confident saying one just to say one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bummer.
It is a bummer.
It's one of those.
But it is spectacular watch. I'm glad the cinematography was up for an Oscar. It is spectacular watch. The black and white thing is very cool to me. I actually think that's very awesome. I wish more people did it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think Billy Bob looks fantastic in the black and white.
He fits it.
He makes sense in any era of film. So yeah, totally works for me.
Right on. Well, I think Man Who Wasn't There is really kind of a forgettable one.
And leads into one that I think some people think is forgettable.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good.
All right. 2003's Intolerable Cruelty, which the Coens co-wrote with Robert Ramsey and Matthew Stone. It stars George Clooney as Miles Massey, a hotshot divorce attorney who becomes increasingly attracted to Marilyn Rexroth, a gold digger played by Catherine Zeta-Jones, who's trying to bleed her rich husband for everything he's got in a bitter divorce. Co-stars Jeffrey Rush as Donovan Donnelly, a TV executive who opens the film with the funniest shit I've seen in a long time. Cedric the Entertainer as Gus Petch, a sort of TMZ paparazzi dude who catches people in the act. Paul Adelstein as Wrigley, Miles's goofy assistant. Richard Jenkins as Freddie Bender, a really shitty lawyer that Marilyn keeps hiring. And Edward Herrmann as Rex Rexroth, her husband, who's kind of a weird guy obsessed with trains. And Billy Bob Thornton is Howard D. Doyle. Oil man from Texas.
Love Doyle. He's great. Oh, Billy.
Yeah. It has an IMDb score of 6.2. Rotten Tomatoes score 75%. I give it an 8. I did not have high expectations, but I enjoyed this.
I think 8's good. 8's a good score. It's a fair score.
It's funny. It's somewhat endearing. It's a love story about divorce.
Yeah.
Which only the Coens could do, really.
Yeah.
And, for years, everyone, my whole family who really hates this movie has told me for years, don't bother, it's terrible.
Just, leave it, yeah.
So I've been putting it off. It's the one Coen I hadn't seen for a very long time. And I finally watched it for this podcast, and I couldn't believe it. I thought it was really good.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Both great performances by them, too.
For sure.
And Doyle's my guy. Doyle's great, of course.
Yeah.
I'm biased towards Billy Bob, but yeah, he's my favorite character.
Well, I love that it ends up he's not even an oil man. He's an actor.
Yeah, not at all.
It's so smart.
Phony.
Not from Texas A&M. I'm an Aggie. Just the way he talks and never shuts up. Dude, when he fucking eats the prenup in like slather it in barbecue sauce at the wedding. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, oh my god.
Jeez.
Ugh. Fun fact, I don't know if you noticed this. One of Miles Massey's clients that he mentions is named Gopnik.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
As in Larry Gopnik from A Serious Man. He's mentioning, like, his assistant's reading off, all right, you're 6 o'clock's here, you're 2 o'clock, and one of the names is Gopnik.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Another fun fact, Bruce Campbell has a cameo as a doctor on the soap opera show that Miles watches at the bar when he realizes Billy Bob has been lying to him.
Holy shit.
Bruce Campbell's the guy he's talking to.
That's wonderful. Yeah. I wonder how that all happened.
Oh, they're all in the same circles.
Sam Raimi, yeah. That's crazy. Yeah.
Intolerable Cruelty is underrated. Very much so.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know why, but the Coens often hit harder when it comes to comedy for me. They have a way...
Hit harder, meaning it just kind of...
The films tend to be more memorable for me.
Just executes, yeah.
I don't know. They have the way they do comedy is so...
That's fair, yeah.
Unlike anybody else. Yeah.
And then when they try to be totally serious, sometimes there can be some issues.
Not entirely, but I do think that the films stand out more when they're comedy.
That's fair.
Because they have a way of looking at the world that a lot of filmmakers don't.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, there are very few stakes when it comes to their films. Like,
yeah, the stakes are so low.
It's really just like, why is this happening, and why do I care?
Yeah, and that's a great question. I love asking myself that question, like when I watch anything. Why do I care? Well, because it's entertaining. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like that simple.
You like the characters.
It is that simple. And then I can watch a movie that is about, some heist for millions and millions of dollars, and the movie can suck. And, it's not, the content, that the Coens are able to get their actors to do these things that are just, so damn funny.
Yeah.
So damn funny. They think like nobody else.
They don't, yeah.
They think like nobody. Or they kind of represent a way of thinking for us, I guess. I feel like very comfortable being a Coen fan, if that makes sense.
I agree.
You're just kind of like, yeah, they represent me. They represent my style of, like, what's funny to me.
I like that.
You know what I mean? Because when I think favorite comedy of all time, I think Lebowski as well, because I think it's so funny. That and Raising Arizona, like those two are like right there. They're both hilarious. But some people might think more, along the lines of like Dumb and Dumber and Tommy Boy and through and through comedies. But this is what I think is funnier.
I agree.
When you're able to mix like death and drugs and all kinds of crazy, chaotic, earthly things into that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So cool.
Very true. My favorite scene is the introduction to this film when Donovan Donnelly, Jeffrey Rush shows up to his house, and there's a pool van in his driveway, but they don't have a pool. So he goes up and finds out his wife's cheating on him, and just his outburst and the way he reacts is, Jesus Christ, it sets the tone.
It's so great, yeah.
And he's my favorite character.
We've said that a lot about the tone, how they're able to set it, and this is one of my favorite tone setters. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, he's just like, he's selling pool stuff. Oh, we could use a new hose, a new filtration. Oh, wait, do we even have a pool? Just starts freaking out. Oh, it's great.
Oh, my God.
Oh, he gets his gun out, starts shooting at her.
Wonderful.
My only problem with this film is I wish there was more Jeffrey Rush.
For sure. You can't complain about that. But maybe that's why he's so great, is that there's that perfect amount of time on screen where you're just amazed by him when he's there.
The Coens followed that with another comedy. Oh, sorry. Do you have a favorite scene, favorite character on that one?
Favorite scene, same. Favorite character would be Doyle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oil man. Billy Bob was born to play that role.
He's just great. Yeah. I love him. Everything he touches. I think he's amazing.
He's fantastic. Next was 2004's The Lady Killers, a remake of the 1955 British crime comedy of the same name. Mm-hmm. Stars Tom Hanks as professional conman Professor G.H. Dorr, who rents a room in the home of Marva Munson, played by Irma P. Hall, so he and his crew can dig a tunnel through her basement wall into the casino vault that's near her house. Co-stars Marlon Wayans as Gawain McSam, J.K. Simmons as Garth Pancake, Zima as the General, Ryan Hurst as Lump Hudson, Diane Delano as Mountain Girl. Garth Pancake's very strange companion. It has an IMDb score of 6.2, Rotten Tomatoes score of 54%. I thought that was considerably low. I give this film an 8. I think it's hilarious.
I'll give it a 7 for me. It's there's something about it that's just like outdated, maybe.
I see that.
I think this one's a little bit less rewatchable than most, especially compared to the ones we just like that string of comedies we just talked about.
True.
We just got done talking about Fargo, Lebowski, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, Intolerable Cruelty, and then this just doesn't quite meet those expectations for me.
Okay.
It's still really funny, and it's so cool to see fucking Tom Hanks in a Coen movie. Like that's
as a
incredible.
bad guy. It's one of the few films where Tom Hanks has ever played a bad guy.
Yeah,
and he's really good at it.
he is really good at it. I would love to see him take it even a notch higher. Like be like a serious villain in a movie. That would be great. I don't see that happening after his new movie coming out.
Oh no,
where he plays America's sweetest, spokesman ever. So
you can't play Mr. Rogers and then play a complete sadistic.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So that probably would have happened when he was younger. That sucks. But
oh well. We love Tom Hanks.
Who's your favorite in this?
Garth Pancake.
Me too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons. Yeah, J.K. Simmons steals the show.
And not just for the name. Like
no,
the
JK's
character's
great.
so weird.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Fun seeing him in a Coen movie. It's just so cool to see these guys are clearly like I want to work with the Coens.
Absolutely.
That's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine like a table read with all I bet it's just such a blast. Especially that one like that where you just can feel it's just not that serious. Like you don't need to be that serious like on set or anything. I bet it's just a relaxed environment where everybody can kind of be themselves.
Well, I love that the Coens, like they've reached that point in their career where they can write characters with actors in mind and not have to worry about them saying no.
Yeah, because we've won some Oscars. We're the Coens. Yeah.
Fun fact: Bruce Campbell has a cameo in this one too.
Oh,
during the dog food commercial that Garth Pancake is shooting.
That's great.
He's standing like up there, kind of giving him the evil eye.
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
Favorite scene.
That's hard. Where are you at? Where's your head on in this one?
Waffle Hut.
Okay, that's a good one.
When Garth shows up with Mountain Girl, and Gawain is like, "You brought your bitch to the Waffle Hut?" Just constantly saying that, and they start arguing, and a beef starts between those two. I love that.
That's a good bit. I can run with that. Yeah, I can run with that.
I don't know what it is about this movie. It's just I find it really funny. And I don't know.
Really entertaining.
I like this movie.
Yeah. It's making me smile just thinking about it. So yeah.
Oh man, Lady Killers. A lot of people didn't like this. This is by a lot of critics considered to be their worst film.
It's like I'm not really quite sure, but it's controversial.
I wouldn't say controversial. I think it's a remake, and I think for a lot of people, this seemed kind of like a place filler for them.
Yeah, I guess.
That's
fair. I guess. I don't know. They can do what they want at this point. It's 2004.
Absolutely.
They're 20 years into their career. They could
And their next film was a huge landmark for them. 2007's No Country for Old Men, based on the novel by Cormac McCarthy. It stars Josh Brolin as Llewellyn Moss, a hunter who stumbles onto a drug bust gone wrong, and he also finds $2 million in cash. And of course, he's not going to just walk away without that. So he takes the money. And a vicious killer named Anton Chigurh, played phenomenally by Javier Bardem, hunts Moss down relentlessly without mercy. It co-stars Tommy Lee Jones as Sheriff Ed Tom Bell, who's hunting for Anton, Kelly MacDonald as Carla Jean Moss, Llewellyn's wife, Woody Harrelson as Carson Wells, another gangster guy out to go find Anton and the money, and Garrett Dillahunt as Wendell, Sheriff Ed's kind of deputy.
Mm-hmm.
This film won Best Picture at the '08 Oscars. It also won Best Supporting Actor for Javier Bardem, Best Director, and Best Adapted Screenplay. The Coens went home with two Oscars.
Unbelievable.
It was also nominated for Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Sound Editing. It's an IMDb score of 8.1, Rotten Tomatoes score of 93%, and I give it a 9, and I believe this is one of your favorites.
Yeah, it's number 2 for me.
Yeah.
I give it a 10 for sure. This movie's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it beat There Will Be Blood at the Oscars that year. That's like any other year, I think There Will Be Blood wins. and, especially in the 2000s. It's just, it's competitive sometimes, and oh boy, what a movie. No music. No music played at all. I remember hearing that before I saw it the first time, and I was like, I don't know. Music's huge for me in movies. But they just fuck with stuff and experiment, and it worked so well.
The lack of score is just as big a statement as any score they could make, if not more so.
Yeah, it really is. It's really kind of like a dick measuring move. It's like, look at us. We're just like, we're capable of that. Yeah. Like, that's just, there's not a lot of people who would even think to do that, unless you're making a silent film. So, this is very much not a silent film. It's a high action. Like,
this is their dramatic masterpiece.
It 100%. And I really have no qualms with anybody saying that it's their best movie. I have no qualms with that. I get it. It is, it's amazing. And the stuff between Brolin and Bardem chasing each other is just...
The cat and mouse game in this movie. Anton Chigurh is one of the scariest movie characters.
Ever, yeah.
He is so creepy. He's relentless. And he's emotionless.
And he has a weapon that will be remembered forever.
Yeah, fucking air gun.
And then he's using a coin. So it's like just... Before he kills someone, it is some of the most chilling stuff of all time on the screen.
There's no... nothing in his eyes. This man has no soul.
Yeah.
He is pure instinct, pure fucking... He's evil John Wick, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, with no vulnerability, because we don't know anything about his backstory. We don't know where he comes from.
We just know everybody who knows him is fucking terrified of him.
They know he will not stop.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's... How do you want to talk about this one? Because I could say a lot about this one, too.
Oh, go to town, man.
But, I mean... Jesus Christ. There's a scene at the beginning whenever, the money's in play now, and Moss, Josh Brolin's character, is in bed, and he's like, I kind of thinking about the money now, and he's like, fuck, I don't know what I need to do with it, I need to hide it. And his wife asks her, like, what are you fixing to do? And he's like, I'm fixing to do something dumb as hell, but I'm going to do it anyway. And it's... That is not funny in the movie. When it's happening, it's not funny at all.
Yeah.
In hindsight, it is just because it's like a funny accent. But this whole movie never breaks that. It never goes into that comedy like, haha, like that's hilarious.
No.
Where a lot of their movies do.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's their dramatic masterpiece. It stays locked in the whole time. Which I didn't know they could do that until I saw this movie, and I was like, okay, they're masters. Mm-hmm. If you can change and adapt like that. And have a character like Anton, who's just one of the most frightening movie characters ever. Maybe, one of the best. One of the best villains I've ever seen. There's not a lot of substance here because it's all these two guys just...
It's so pure. It's
so awesome.
Stripped down to the bare bones.
Yeah.
It's good versus evil.
But it's like long... There's like a lot of content. You know? It's a long movie, and there's a lot of action.
Yeah.
A lot of things, a lot of decisions being made by two men who are... There's so much. This one there feels like there's a lot of at stake because people are going to die.
There's $2 million and a lot of lives.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money and a lot of lives. Oh yeah. Oh boy.
Dude, the shitstorm that Moss causes by taking that money.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
I love when he's running and he gets in the water and he's swimming with the dogs chasing. Oh, dude, so intense. The stuff with the hotel. Oh boy.
When he's hiding the money, when Anton shows up, like when he kills those two guys. My favorite part's when Anton kills Carson, Woody Harrelson.
So you got Javier Bardem and Woody just head to head.
Yeah. He tells him like, Anton says something about like, if what led you here, then did anything matter? Something like that.
Yeah.
Like why
Unbelievable.
bother?
What a great,
what a merciless thing to say to somebody.
And Carson, who even knows that this guy's evil as hell, is like. 5 kids,
You don't have to do this. He's like, I do.
Yeah, and he's like, you saying all this is making you look bad.
Have some dignity.
Yeah, he tells him to have some dignity.
And he just, one in the chest.
Die with some dignity.
And then Moss calls Carson, and Anton talks to him. And he makes him a deal, like, give me the money and I won't kill your wife. And Moss is like, no, like, I don't trust. He says, like, this ain't happening. And Anton says, you're not going to get a better deal than that. I'm not going to try to pretend you can save yourself because you can't.
Yeah.
Like,
what a line. Yeah.
Like,
I'm not going to pretend to say...
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend to think that you think you can save yourself because you can't. Like, he's so ruthless, so ruthless.
Bardem earned that Oscar. Like, goddamn,
man. And I think a lot of like American viewers were like, "Oh, who's that guy?"
Yeah.
You know, because he wasn't totally in the spotlight. But again, people love working with the Coens. They have great characters and they're really good at writing. So I'm sure Bardem was just like, "Hey, I can do that."
I would love for him to do another Coen movie.
My God.
I want him to be part of the inner circle.
Oh, me too.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because once you do 2, you're in. You're in. You're on the. But yeah, these are some badass people like Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, what?
Josh Brolin.
Yeah, these are dudes who like I don't want to fight with these guys ever, and they're all put in this environment. I love when Josh Brolin's like walking in Mexico, and he gets those kids to give him the jacket.
Yeah,
so good. He's got blood all over him. Yeah, man.
Oh, so good.
Oh fuck, the gas station scene.
Oh yeah, bring it on.
With the older gentleman. The use of the coin is like monumental to me. I love. I'm going to go on a different little tangent. I love the Batman movies, but I really wish. I know Two-Face's thing is like I really wish they would use, because it was right after this movie came out, and it just felt kind of cheap. It was like that was just mastered, and Harvey Dent doesn't do it nearly as cool. So I don't know. That's like a pick and knit thing for me.
Yeah, but Anton took that from Two-Face.
Yeah, agreed. He took it. Yeah, because Two-Face is like an old character. Yeah. I just think in the movie world, because they just did it a year before, I was like, man, I think Anton's is way cooler. It's like a way cooler coin flip. But that scene in the gas station, he tells, he's gonna kill it. We know he's gonna kill him.
All because the guy asked him where he was from. That's it.
Like offended him, I guess. Yeah.
Like now he's gonna remember him.
And he's asking him what time does the gas station close. Anton is, and the clerk is saying now, and he's like, that's not a time. And then he's forcing him to choose a side of the coin. He's forcing him to.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, I don't want to play this game. I really.
You've been playing it all your life. He said, like, I got to know what I'm fixing to win. It's like, everything. You're fixing to win everything. Call it.
Lose
yeah. Oh, and in that moment, this shadow goes over the guy, and he realizes what's happening right now. And he's like, oh, all right, heads. It's like, well done. And then he leaves.
Unbelievable.
God damn. That's one of the most tense movie scenes in history.
Terrifying. This movie does that thing that the Coens do so well, where there's like a 5-minute scene where you're like, oh, that didn't need to be 5 minutes, but I don't really care because it was written so well.
Yeah.
And No Country does that like every scene. It's like a little bit longer than maybe it should be, but it doesn't matter because the acting's awesome, the writing's awesome, everything's there.
Fantastic.
10 out of 10 for me.
I get it. Yeah. No Country
so
is
good.
A masterpiece. I'm glad that's the film of theirs that took Best Picture.
Me too. It's the one. Yeah. It's not my favorite because I love Lebowski so much, but it's right there. It's right behind it.
Oh, for sure. So, the Coens followed that with 2008's Burn After Reading, a black comedy starring John Malkovich as Osborne Cox, a disgruntled CIA analyst who gets demoted, quits his job, decides to write his memoirs, or as he says, his memoir. And when a disc containing his financials gets stolen by 2 gym employees, Cox gets increasingly irritated at this insane extortion scheme he's now stuck having to deal with. No movie, I think, defines nothing at stake like Burn After Reading. This movie has no point, really, but it's executed so well.
And the actors in this. I mean, Brad Pitt, George Clooney,
so good. Clooney plays Harry Ferrer, a ex-marshal guy who always just carries a gun for some reason. He's a womanizer.
Yeah.
He's sleeping with Cox's wife, Frances McDormand, Linda Litsky. She is a gym employee who kind of sets this whole thing in motion, wanting to get some money to pay for some cosmetic surgery. She's also sleeping with Clooney.
Yeah, true.
Brad Pitt as Chad Feldheimer, this goofy, clueless gym guy.
All time.
Who thinks he's found some, as he calls it, like, classified shit. The way when he calls Osborne Cox, like, I think you would like to be, like, you would be concerned about the security of your shit. Osborne's like, who the fuck is this? Like, it's just,
who the fuck is this?
So perfect. Tilda Swinton plays Katie Cox, Osborne's wife, who's sleeping around on him.
She's great, man.
She's great. She's such a bitch in this. And Richard Jenkins plays Ted, gym manager who's in love with Linda. And
another great Coen mainstay.
Richard Jenkins. I love Richard Jenkins.
Me too.
And J.K. Simmons plays the nameless CIA official who hears about this whole story and is like, what the fuck is going on right now? Just the whole time. Oh, there's an IMDb score of 7.0, Rotten Tomatoes score 78%. I give it an 8. I hadn't seen this movie in I think like over a decade, but goddamn, so funny.
It's close to a 9 for me.
It's so funny.
I love this movie.
Chad
Fellheimer is one of my favorite Coen characters. He's so good. It's one of the... And they do this a year after No Country comes out. They go right back to like, oh yeah, we can make you laugh your ass off with some huge actors who are like at the top of the pantheon of acting. So it's amazing
for sure. And my favorite scene in this movie is the opening.
Again, another great tone setter. Again,
for sure.
Again,
Osborne Cox gets demoted, and he demands to know why.
Yeah.
He's like, "This is a crucifixion." He has this weird thing with his arms that I love, and he demands to know why. And they say like, "It's because you have a drinking problem." He's like, "A drinking problem?
What?
You're a fucking Mormon. To you, everybody has a drinking problem." It's a great line. Oh my god,
so good.
He's my favorite character. Absolutely, this is my favorite Malkovich performance of all time.
This and Rounders.
Rounders, okay.
I love Rounders. I love Rounders. But yeah, he's awesome. That's probably that scene is really good. Or the scene when Brad Pitt finds George Clooney dead. That's or other way around. Sorry. Yeah, George Clooney finds Brad Pitt dead. Yeah,
just
so good, so good.
He just opens the closet, Brad Pitt smiling.
I love that.
Boom! Too. You do not expect that. It's out of fucking nowhere.
Oh man,
I love it. I also love when Malkovich and Brad Pitt have like the powwow in his car.
Oh yeah, of course.
And Osborne Cox is like, "Who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck?
What are you doing?" And
or when Cox is on the phone, like anytime Cox really is doing anything, he's just screaming.
Chad is like, "Give me the money, dickwad," and he just punches him right in the face. He's just so shocked. Jesus Christ! This is,
Malkovich does this thing where he's like, "You do not know who you are fucking with."
The way he enunciates everything, it's
fuck. It's like every letter is just drawn out for 10 seconds. Malkovich, what a genius!
Oh, he's so good. He's so good in this.
You saw those spikes in her.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, Burn After Reading, underrated,
highly underrated. One of their funniest movies.
Yeah.
And they followed that with another drama, or I guess a dramedy. Another Oscar contender, a bit polarizing for a lot of fans.
Yeah, I think this was the year when they extended it to like fucking 10 movies.
Yeah, this was that year.
That's dumb. A Serious Man wouldn't have been up if there were like. I love it, but it wouldn't have been up if it were 5.
2009, Serious Man, starring Michael Stuhlbarg as Larry Gopnik, a depressed physics teacher whose life is falling apart in pretty much every way. He struggles to find meaning in it by consulting with 3 different rabbis. Co-stars Richard Kind as Arthur Gopnik, his very weird brother. Fred Malamed as Cy Abelman, the older guy who is screwing his wife and is being very magnanimous about it. Sari Lennox as Judith Gopnik, his wife, who is a total complete bitch, destroying his life and not really giving a shit about it. This was nominated for 2 Oscars, Best Picture and Best Original Screenplay. It has an IMDb score of 7.0, Rotten Tomatoes score of 89%. And I give it an 8. I enjoyed this. This was a first-time watch for me. Very strange.
Yeah, it's one of their under-the-radar movies.
I wouldn't use this to introduce anybody to the Coen.
Oh
work.
No, this is a deep Coen movie.
Yeah,
you really only like it if you have been with them for some time.
Yes,
because it kind of represents them the best.
This is their kind of ode to their Jewish heritage.
Yeah. Oh, the opening scene is so cool.
Mm-hmm. The Dybbuk. That was so weird.
Oh man,
so weird.
It really is. They do so many gutsy things because they know people are going to show up to the theater. They don't know how many, but they know they're probably going to be up for awards. They know, they know like critics are going to be watching very closely, and they do things that are so uncanny and so unorthodox, and so ridiculous. And this A Serious Man embodies every shit just goes south. Because it goes south from the beginning.
Yeah.
To one guy. It's like exclusively happening to this guy, Larry Gopnik. It's a lot like Job from the Bible. It's just like, here, take that, take that, take that, keep taking that. Do you still have faith in me? Do you still have faith in me? And it ties religion in. That's my favorite part of the movie. I think this movie's genius. It's a 10 out of 10. The way the way it ties in religion, the Coens, I hadn't seen them do that quite yet. I grew up super religious, and so this movie meant like a lot to me the first time I saw it. It still means a lot. I still enjoy watching it so much. Watching the kid like smoke weed and like recite Bible verses, I did that. I did that. I don't know.
That's a great scene.
It really is, and the music. So the Jefferson Airplane stuff is fucking awesome. A lot of people say there's like lulls in this movie. I just disagree. I think the movie's grade A the whole time, and I think everybody gives a really cool performance. So
yeah.
Well, why is it an 8 for you?
I think that I liked it. I love the performances.
Is it too subtle almost?
I don't know if it's too subtle. I think it's just I didn't grow up with any religious upbringing.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
So a lot of this is lost on me. I get
because it's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I get it, but I can't relate to this movie.
Yeah.
But I do really like Larry Gopnik. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, and Michael Stuhlbarg. The first timer.
Oh my god.
These first timers, when they do that, when they come on the Coens set the first time and they just fit right in.
Oh.
And Stuhlbarg is in season 3 of Fargo on FX.
Fantastic.
Which is so cool. That's great that they did that.
Yeah. He will be back. I can't wait.
Surely.
Yeah. He's going to be a mainstay for sure.
Surely.
And most of the people in this are unknowns. Like I think he's kind of the most famous person in this.
Richard Kind is...
Richard
nobody
Kind.
knows who that is, but you do because it's Bing Bong from Inside Out. Everybody knows Bing Bong.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, is there anybody else who's like famous in this? Not really.
Not particularly. Howard from Big Bang Theory is the young rabbi, but
unfortunately, people would recognize him more than Michael Stuhlbarg. So
sad.
That's really sad because that show kind of sucks dick.
Show.
So yeah,
but this movie's very sad. For me,
extremely, yeah,
extremely.
And the ending is very daunting.
Oh my god! After everything, to get that phone call, like, come on,
telling him he needs to come back to the doctor.
How many kicks in the balls can one man endure?
Well, it's like right when he changes the grade.
Yeah,
he changes the grade because there's this kid who's like trying to bribe him to change one because he's a teacher. I love all those scenes when he's being a teacher and he's like explaining to them, like he says what's that theory he's talking about where he's like, it proves that we really can't know anything.
Yeah.
And he goes, but know this for your midterm. Like, that's so great. But he's this Jewish man who's a part of the church, but he's a physics teacher, and science and religion just always don't go hand in hand for me, and they just not just for me, but for that's facts. They don't always go hand in hand. They don't always make sense together. And he's a physics teacher, like a college. He's telling these kids, and then he has this Jewish life and this home life, and it all seems so simple, but it's like this is real. This is real life. This is a serious man is as real as they have ever gotten. The Coens. Very, very close to being my favorite of all time. I love this movie. It's so good.
I'm assuming your favorite character is Larry.
Yeah, Gopnik. Yeah,
mine too.
Gopnik. He's The scenes with him. You point out the scene when I think it's probably your favorite when he's talking about the story about the dentist and all that. Yeah,
the guy's teeth.
Amazing.
It's so pointless. It's so Coen. And even Larry's like, why did you bother telling me that? That doesn't help me at all.
Because Larry's in search of answers. This whole movie, Gopnik is always...
He wants to know why this is happening to him and if he can fix it.
What did I do? Yeah. What did I do wrong? Yeah.
And he can't. And there is no reason behind this. And that's kind of what he's got to deal with. Like, shit happens, and to him, shit happens a lot.
Yeah. Especially in this movie, this segment of his life. Oh, I forgot to mention, what's her name? The neighbor.
I don't remember her name.
Heidecker is her last name, the actress.
Okay.
Amy Heidecker? Is that how you say it?
Maybe.
Someone's going to know who that is and is going to be upset because she's in Transparent. She's really good. She plays the neighbor, but they listen to Jefferson Airplane smoke at one point. That's a really cool scene because he finally gets to... Or is he dreaming? I don't know. It's all...
I think he was dreaming.
Yeah, I think it's pretty explanatory that he is, but...
Sad.
I like to think that he wasn't. Just maybe for a second.
Yeah.
God, what's her name? Guy. That's going to bother me, man. There she is. Amy Landecker. That's close. Okay. Where did I get Heidecker?
I don't know. That sounds familiar, though. Now that's going to bug me. Whatever.
Fucking IMDb. Oh, Tim Heidecker. Duh. Where am I getting... Yeah.
Bingo.
Right. Okay. Yeah, she's great as the neighbor. The aesthetic of this of A Serious Man is just awesome, and I think they're kind of reaching a culmination of like No Country, Burn After Reading, and that is like that might be like the peak of their game for me. Is like where they're just killer and masterful, using these wonderful, wonderful actors at an age where they clearly can do whatever they want. At that point in the game. So
true, very true.
What do we got next?
Next was 2010's True Grit, a remake of the 1969 John Wayne Western, based on the novel by Charles Portis. We talked about this in the John Wayne episode 15, I want to say. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 15, yeah.
A young girl hires a tough old U.S. Marshal to help her hunt down the man who murdered her father. Stars Jeff Bridges as Rooster Cogburn, grizzled old U.S. Marshal. Haley Steinfeld as Maddie Ross, the girl who hires him. Matt Damon as LaBeef, the Texas Ranger who accompanies them. Josh Brolin as Tom Chaney, the man who did the murder. Barry Pepper as Lucky Ned Pepper, the outlaw who challenges Rooster to a showdown. It was nominated for 10 Oscars. Best Picture, Best Actor for Jeff Bridges, Best Supporting Actress for Haley Steinfeld, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Cinematography, Best Costume Design, Best Sound Mixing, Best Sound Editing, Best Art Direction. It has an IMDb score of 7.6, Rotten Tomatoes score of 96%. I give it an 8 to Great Western beats the hell out of John Wayne's movie.
Oh, God.
Not even close.
John Wayne has no movie even close to...
No.
Yeah, no.
This is the Coen's first Western, and holy shit, do they know how to craft a Western.
It was cool. It was very cool. And Jeff Bridges, my God.
I can't believe he's only worked with them twice.
I know. And two polar opposite.
Yeah.
You got the slacker ultimate comedy, and then, this huge Western. This very ambitious Western.
This jaded old hero.
Again, using... Fucking Matt Damon is going to be in this Western? Are you kidding me? Haley Steinfeld, she's my favorite character. I thought she is fucking spectacular. I really wish she would have won the Oscar. I thought that would have been really cool if she could have taken it home.
Yeah.
What's your favorite things about this? Them doing this kind of a remake. It's a Western. Like what entices you the most about that?
I think their particular style of film translates to Western better than anything else.
Yeah.
Because Westerns almost like most Westerns, at least the ones I saw, are very much no stakes and like a day in the life.
Yeah. Follow me.
And what they do with this is perfect. This story of, a young girl trying to find justice. And we get such a great journey with them. We get such great character development that is completely lost in the John Wayne film. That movie is a joke.
It was a check. It was simply a check.
It was absolutely a check. This one, they gave this story the justice it deserved.
Yeah.
And
I would love to hear what the Coens what their reasoning was. Was their reasoning being like, because it wasn't good? That one from back, the John Wayne one, or they would never say. They would never admit that. But I would love to hear truthfully why did they feel the need to put their imprint on that story? I don't know.
I'd love to know that.
And again, to do Western, to do something they haven't done before after so many movies. What have we gone through? 12 now?
I think so. But goddamn. And favorite character for me is Rooster Cogburn. Jeff Bridges brings a humanity and kind of a sense of loss to this character that John Wayne completely didn't have.
I think Jeff Bridges might have been born to play
Rooster.
To be honest with you, more so than the dude. I love the dude. I think the dude is. I like him way better, of course, but I think Jeff Bridges is the only guy who could really master Rooster Cogburn. I really think that. I think there might be other people who could pull off the dude. Maybe obviously not, with what we've seen now and how it's grown on us, but I think there might have been people at the time who could have done it.
Okay.
But Rooster, I don't know, man. That's Jeff Bridges all day.
Damn. What is your favorite scene from this movie?
I really like Matt Damon's introduction. When he first comes in, I guess it's a culmination of people kind of, all right, here we go. Now it's a Western. Also, Rooster Cogburn's introduction. That's wonderful.
That's my favorite. Yeah,
wonderful.
The courtroom scene.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, man,
he's so flippant. I always go backwards when I'm backing up. I love it.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah,
really
Rooster.
Good stuff.
I think if Jeff hadn't won the previous year for Crazy Heart, I think he would have taken it.
I think so too. I can agree with that. Who won?
2010. That was shit.
Hold on. Let's come up with that. So what won Best Picture?
2010 was
Hurt Locker?
that was the previous. That was 09. 2010
Artist? No, Artist was
was
after.
2011. 2010. What the hell? Why are we blanking on this? This is our.
But we would know everything outside of it.
Of course, yeah.
No. What is it? Argo's 2012, right?
Yeah. The King's Speech.
Oh, that's
Colin
why.
Firth.
That's why.
That was the winner. Okay. Yeah.
Shit, True Grit's better than King's Speech.
I gotta say, yeah.
I'm guessing, what was that? Winter's Bone was up?
Winter's
Bone's better than...
Toy Story 3, The Kids Are All
Black
Right.
Swan?
Black Swan, Inception,
Social Network?
The Fighter, and 127 Hours.
I think maybe all of those are better than the King's Speech. I've seen all of those.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was this interesting year.
Yeah, I forgot about. I owe it. Well, again, it's King's Speech. It's a very forgettable movie
Compared to True Grit, yes.
compared to Toy Story 3. Come on, man. Social Network.
Yeah.
Jesus. Anyway, that happens to the Oscars every once
There's
in a while.
always, yeah. But, yeah, True Grit, solid effort from them.
Yeah, solid
one of their
flick.
great
Solid
films.
flick. Well, and one that I need to rewatch more. I guess it's only been out for 9 years, but
Yeah.
I should rewatch that one.
9 years, goddamn.
It's a blast.
Where does it go?
I don't know. I saw that in theaters, and it feels like
Me too.
fucking yesterday.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Next up was 2013's Inside Llewyn Davis,
Woo!
starring Oscar Isaac as a struggling musician in the 1960s folk music scene who's trying to land a record deal, but it's just not working out for him. Co-stars Carey Mulligan, Justin Timberlake, John Goodman, F. Murray Abraham, Garrett Hedlund, and Adam Driver. Mm-hmm. It has an IMDb score of 7.5, Rotten Tomatoes score of 92%. I give it an 8.
It's a 9 for me.
It was nominated for 2 Oscars, cinematography and sound mixing. It's been a while since I saw this one.
Oscar Isaac should have been up. He's
I agree with that.
breathtaking, and he's on the screen the entire time.
Yeah.
There's not a scene that he's not in, and
No.
that's not easy to do. The Coens are good at that, though. Having their main character just be this like lovable loser, I guess. My God, this movie. This is like right up my alley. Bob Dylan's like my favorite artist of all time. So 1960s Greenwich Village,
Greenwich.
Greenwich Village, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for. I don't know if you were gonna like correct me. Or
I
not.
have to with that. Somebody else is going to if I don't.
I always call it that. I really like that setting. Folk music. It's a big part of American culture.
Yeah.
And man, this movie's deep.
It is.
Very
It
deep.
is. It's been way too long. I don't really have much to talk about because it's been so long since I saw this. I do like that his partner who had killed himself
Committed suicide. Yeah.
was played by Marcus Mumford,
Yeah.
which was great. I love Mumford and Sons.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear him and Oscar Isaac do a rendition of "Fare Thee Well"
It was pretty.
was very
amazing.
pleasant. It was it's a great song.
That's my favorite scene is when he's playing a song that him and his partner before he committed suicide played together.
Yeah.
And he's doing his bit, and then the person he's playing it for at dinner, she starts singing his part, and he immediately stops and is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's like, "I am not a fucking monkey that just performs for you. This is my life. This is what I do for a living." And it's just separating the artist from sometimes we think we can just be like, just make new stuff, just do this, like they are some act, some puppet. And he's very much, Oscar Isaac does so well embodying that I am a person, and this is what I do for a living.
Yes.
I work on this already in my off time, in my spare time, so I don't need you to fucking tell me at dinner what to do and what not to do. And the fact that she sings a part from a guy that committed suicide and was his best friend is just is a really, really intense, dramatic scene, and Oscar Isaac sells it so well. So well.
I'm really surprised that Oscar Isaac hasn't been up for anything yet.
It's a damn shame.
Feels like he's been around for a long time now.
Damn shame.
Yeah.
He might have been up for an Emmy when he was in the show Show Me a Hero, HBO show.
Yeah.
But movies, no. He hasn't
Personally, for me, I would have given him a nomination for Ex Machina.
been. Oh my god.
That was amazing.
That movie's fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's my favorite thing about the new Star Wars movies. He's my favorite actor in them anyway.
Really? Even more so than Adam Driver?
Yeah. As of right now, Driver. I think Driver's the most like movie star. He has that quality, like he can do. I mean, he's Kylo Ren, so he can kind of do everything. But I think Oscar Isaac is probably, I don't know if more talented is the right, but so far, Adam Driver's younger too, so
True.
I think so far, yeah, Oscar Isaac, and it's mainly because of this. Like, Driver has not done one movie that I love. Patterson, I'm a huge Patterson fan, but I like this. Like, Inside Llewyn Davis is just spectacular, and if Oscar Isaac only made this movie, I'd still be a huge fan of his. That's how much I love that character. So, and the soundtrack is wonderful. You know, like you said, Mark Mumford's involved, and it's just great. It's really, really good stuff. Really good music. Justin Timberlake is involved.
Yeah.
Adam Driver sings a little bit, actually. So, yeah, it's good, clean fun. Yeah.
The Coens followed this with 2 films that they did not direct, but they did write.
Yeah.
2014's Unbroken, directed by Angelina Jolie, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a true story of Louis Zamperini, an Olympian who joined the war effort in World War II, spent 47 days trapped on a raft with 2 fellow soldiers, and were then caught by the Japanese and sent to a POW camp. It was nominated for 3 Oscars: Best Cinematography, Best Sound Mixing, Best Sound Editing. IMDb score of 7.2, Rotten Tomatoes score of 51%, regrettably. And we both have not seen this film.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nor do I really intend to.
I don't either.
It's not up
honestly.
my alley at all.
Yeah.
Like, feel, I don't know, the sentimental, like, let's keep fighting. I don't know. I've seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah, I think even with the Coens script, I don't know. And they followed that with 2015's Bridge of Spies, directed by Steven Spielberg, in which the Coens tell the story of James Donovan, a lawyer who was chosen to represent an accused Soviet spy and assist the CIA in an exchange between the spy and a downed American pilot during the Cold War. It won 1 Oscar, Best Supporting Actor for Mark Rylance, who played the spy, was nominated for 5 more, Best Picture, Best Original Screenplay, Best Original Score for Thomas Newman, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Production Design. It has an IMDb score of 7.6, Rotten Tomatoes score of 91%. I gave this an 8. I enjoyed this film. It's
good.
I haven't watched it since. It's kind of a one and done kind of movie.
Yeah. That can tend to be the case with Spielberg.
Yeah, a lot of his dramatic stuff is very much you should see it, but you kind of
Yeah,
need to
it's
see
like
it
a
once.
must thing, but it's also like, do you really want to watch Schindler's List over and over? Probably not.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
But again, Coens wrote that one, and it's weird because you do not feel that at all.
No.
And they followed that with what I believe to be their worst movie, personally, 2016's Hail Caesar, which stars Josh Brolin as Eddie Mannix, a Hollywood fixer in the 1950s, who is to help resolve a worsening situation when a famous movie star is kidnapped by communists. He's a guy who makes sure that all the stars are maintaining their image, nobody's getting pregnant, nobody's sleeping around, and everyone... Because this was back in the day when the producers owned you as an actor. Mm-hmm. You belonged to them. Your image belonged to them. So if you screwed with that image, you weren't profitable anymore.
Yeah.
So they needed to make sure you never screwed up your image. And then Mannix was one of the people who did this. And Eddie Mannix is a real guy.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of the movie. He's my favorite character.
Yeah. It co-stars George Clooney as ridiculous movie star Baird Whitlock, Alden Ehrenreich as arguably even more ridiculous movie star Hobie Doyle,
Yep.
Ralph Fiennes as director Lawrence Lorenz, Tilda Swinton as gossip columnist Thora Thacker and her twin sister Thessaly Thacker, Scarlett Johansson as Deanna Moran, an actress who is pregnant without a father, and that's not good, in the 1950s. Channing Tatum as Bert Gurney, a closet communist actor. Frances McDormand as C.C. Calhoun, film editor, and Jonah Hill as Joe Silverman. It was nominated for Best Production Design. It has an IMDb score of 6.3, Rotten Tomatoes score of 86%, which I think is way too high, and I give it a 6. I'm not a fan of this film. I think it's very boring.
Yeah, 6 is fine. It's aimless as hell.
Extremely. It's really pointless.
I don't have anything to say, honestly.
I don't, really. I've seen it twice. And
I like Mannix, and
I can't stand it.
it's like cool to see those faces, and that's it. But there's
I agree.
really frustrating waste of a cast, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think the one scene I like is when...
Are we ever going to see Channing Tatum in a Coen movie again?
I doubt it.
Maybe not.
We
and that
barely saw him in
sucks.
this one.
That sucks, because I like him. I want to believe in him.
Yeah. I like the scene where Mannix brings together the holy men of different faiths to debate the movie appearance of God, and everyone has a different opinion about who God is. That scene's kind of funny. And I like Baird Whitlock, but it's kind of a weak performance, honestly. Everyone's really kind of a weak performance. This movie was a disaster, I think.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I
I saw this in
happened.
theaters by myself, and I was like, I guess I'm going to go home and get drunk, because I don't... I don't want to remember any of this. That was terrible. And it's not terrible, but for their standard, it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
pretty bad. For the Coen scale. So if on the Coen scale, if Lebowski's 10, this is 1.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the Coen scale.
Yeah.
Against other movies, yeah, you said it's a 6.
That's true.
But on their scale, it's the worst.
It is their worst. Written and directed.
Aside from Crime Wave.
Yeah.
Which is not theirs. Yeah.
If it's exclusively them, this was their worst movie.
Yeah, we agree on that. Yeah.
Good. And after that, they co-wrote the screenplay to 2017 Suburbicon, a
also
disastrous film starring Matt Damon, Julianne Moore, and Oscar Isaac, directed by George Clooney.
It should be wonderful.
Yeah, this should have been incredible.
Fuck.
Total bomb. Terrible movie. One of the worst I've seen in a long time. They wrote this screenplay in 86, and were holding on to it for so long. Then this was the product. You'd think after all that time, this would have been really something special.
Oh, we saw that with Don Quixote.
Oh, yeah.
Terry Gilliam. He's, it's like, well, what the hell was all that for?
True.
And that kind of happened.
Yeah. But yeah, Suburbicon just didn't work. The film was billed as a comedy, and it's not a comedy at all.
Not funny at all. Yeah.
Not even intended.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a straight up crime drama that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hated that movie. I was really pissed when I saw that.
Me too.
So, their most recent film, finally, a Netflix original, 2018's The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
So cool.
A collection of 5 Western tales, some of which were based on stories by Jack London and Stuart Edward White. The stories are The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Near Algodones, All Gold Canyon, Meal Ticket, The Gal Who Got Rattled, and The Mortal Remains. Stars Tim Blake Nelson, Clancy Brown, James Franco, Stephen Root, Liam Neeson, Harry Melling, Tom Waits, Brendan Gleeson, Bill Heck, Zoe Kazan, Saul Rubinek, and Tyne Daly. It was nominated for 3 Oscars: Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Costume Design, and Best Original Song for When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings.
Yep.
IMDb score 7.3. Rotten Tomatoes score 91%. I give it an 8. This is a very enjoyable film.
8 for me as well. Very entertaining and really cool to see them move along with the times and release a movie onto Netflix.
Yeah.
Showing that, hey, we're with you. We're here for the fans. We're going to keep making movies and release them to you however's easiest. And here you go.
If only Spielberg thought the same way.
Ugh.
We wouldn't have to deal with this bullshit.
No.
He's trying to get Netflix banned from the Oscars.
Yeah, which is just so silly.
Mm-hmm.
So silly.
Especially after Roma won a bunch of Oscars.
And it's really good. It's not like a fluke or anything.
No, it's ridiculous. But
if Scorsese can work with Netflix, so can you, Spielberg.
Exactly. The Coen brothers and Alfonso Cuarón, Scorsese. Come on.
There's some other huge name that Paul Thomas Anderson has worked with Netflix now. There was someone else who made that anime. Yeah, there's all kinds of people. Point being, hey Spielberg, hey Steve.
Yeah, Steve, get with the program.
Hey Steven, come on, bud.
The stories are The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, which is about an outlaw named Buster
That one's
Scruggs.
really good.
That one's so good.
It's the opener, and it's just fantastic.
Tim Blake Nelson plays Buster Scruggs, notorious misanthrope, as it says on his wanted poster. He rolls into town, starts fucking shit up. Guy challenges into a duel. Buster doesn't lose duels, but he loses this one.
Yeah.
It's shot in the head, and then the song starts playing, and his cowboy angel spirit thing starts flying to heaven, singing When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings. It's such a weird way to open this movie.
Yeah. Here you go. Welcome.
Insane. Then there was Near Algodones, starring James Franco.
That one's great.
That one's so weird.
That one's probably my favorite of all 5. James Franco, seeing, again, how do they get these people to be like, yeah, we'll work. We want to work with you.
All it takes is one phone call.
Yeah. Hey, James.
Yeah.
Joel? Ethan?
Yes.
I am there. No, actually, it's Francis. I'm calling for them. Crazy. So what was the third one?
All Gold Canyon.
All Gold Canyon. Which one was that?
That was Tom Waits.
Okay, yeah.
Looking for
That
gold.
one's great. That one's great.
Yeah. Oh, we should explain what Algodones is about.
It was like a robbery, like a heist, essentially, between him and who's the
Stephen Root.
Stephen Root, yeah, he's like the bank teller.
And
Just
Franco
great.
gets hanged twice.
So good.
Yeah, I love the second time the other guy's crying. He's just like, first time? Like, it's become a meme since then. It's funny.
First time being
great.
hung? Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
And All Gold... Actually, I think the third one was Meal Ticket. I think I have those ordered wrong.
I can't remember. I've only seen it once.
Meal Ticket is dark. It's Liam Neeson as a guy partnered with Harry Melling, who's a limbless, he has no limbs, poet kind of guy who recites various literary works to an audience for coins. And you just see the audience get smaller every time he goes into town. And the guy, Liam Neeson, hears about this duck, or this chicken, not a duck, I don't know why I went the duck. This chicken who can spell or something.
Yeah.
And he buys the chicken. And now he doesn't need the disabled guy anymore. And it's so dark, man. He passes by a river, and you just see him look at the guy, look at the river, and then cut away, and he's driving away without the guy.
Oh,
It's so horrible.
crazy.
Especially since he didn't buy the second part of the trick, and the chicken can't do what he wants it to do. It's just a chicken.
Oh, man.
Ugh, so dark. My uncle loves that short. He talks about that all the time. He told me he hasn't finished the movie yet because he keeps rewatching it because he's so into this.
Wow.
He hasn't seen the last one yet, The Mortal Remains.
Because he keeps watching that.
He keeps starting over because he's so mesmerized by this. And he's been at this for months.
That's crazy. I love that. Let's get him on the pod.
Oh, for sure. I'll talk to him. All Gold Canyon. Tom Waits is a prospector who finds a giant vein of gold, and then as he's digging it up, gets shot in the chest or in the back by a bandit. But the bullet misses all vital organs. And he beats the bandit to death, and turns out it's his luckiest day of his life.
Yeah.
Finds millions in gold and doesn't get killed by a bullet. It's so good. That one's probably my favorite, honestly.
Yeah.
All Gold Canyon. The gal who got rattled is really sad.
Reoccurring theme here.
Yeah. Girl it's a wagon train going through Indian territory,
Yeah.
and she's told, like, if the Indians get too close, shoot yourself. It's easier than what they're going to do to you. And she gets spooked by Indians not... She goes prematurely, kills herself, and then it ends up being safe. And it's really sad.
Oh, man.
Ugh, man.
I'm excited to watch this again.
Yeah.
Now that we were talking about it. Because, I saw it right when it came out, so that would be, what?
Last spring, I think? Last fall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, coming up on a year. Close to it. Crazy.
And then finally, The Mortal Remains, where 4 people in a coach are riding towards some unknown destination and just talking about stuff, and it turns out they're dead. And this is the ferryman. Fascinating.
Very fascinating. Very cool.
Yeah. This was unlike anything they'd done before. Another Western, well played. And, yeah.
I like the short story. Where it's 5 things
For sure.
happening in one film. Really cool. It gives opportunities to a lot of actors too to shine. So that was fun. A lot of fun. And again, so cool that the Coens are not too proud to be on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm glad. It's
Thanks,
going to
guys.
give it...
Well, and it gives people like you and I easy content. I don't have to go out and spend $10. I can just watch something from people I love. So, thanks, guys.
And you said your favorite short was Near Algodones?
Yeah. That one, I really like the first one too. Just Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Yeah. And then All Gold Canyon. Yeah, they're all good.
They are all good.
They all have something to offer.
For sure. I love when anthology films don't have a weak link. And that rarely happens.
Where they kind of run together because they're all so good. Yeah. I like that.
That is the Coen brothers' massive filmography.
Yeah.
Some of the best films ever made, some incredible pop culture icons, and they are just... There's nobody else like them in Hollywood. They do what they do because they love what they do. There is no ego behind this at all. I love it. They could be... Somebody, I think it was either you or my uncle, said they're Quentin Tarantino without the ego.
I might have said that because I agree. Yeah.
It's... Yeah. I love them. I love what they do. I love what they give us.
Yeah, they've really been able to, over 3 decades now, about 3 decades, they've been able to find a way to adapt with how films are made now, or how they've been made in the present, but at the same time using this scheme and strategy that they have with making their characters and their writing ability, where the setting doesn't matter. they adapt to filmmaking so well and have gotten better at it. Where Raising Arizona, their second movie of all time, is one of my favorites. I think it's brilliant. But I think, like you pointed out, a great point that they kind of perfect that with Lebowski, where it feels like, okay, they really honed in on what is a comedy, what is this slacker character, like they really nailed it, and they kept doing that, and they keep, it just doesn't stop. And then Ballad of Buster Scruggs has some of their most flashy and brilliant stuff I've ever seen them do. I mean, the stuff with Tim Blake Nelson, some of the kills he has at the beginning of the movie are some of the best, most violent things they've ever done.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool to see them adapt and change and keep growing and keep getting better at their craft.
Yeah.
That's all we ask as fans, is that you keep working on it. I don't care if you don't come out with a movie for 5 years, but keep honing in your craft and make that movie good, the next one that comes out. And I trust them. I totally trust them. They've given us so much content.
Yeah.
There's even stuff that Connor and I, we both love, but we have to go back and watch over and over because we're so in love with it that we want to be able to talk about all of them, and that's the goal. Clearly we have our favorites, but Jesus, what a filmography.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So great.
Incredible. So this was fun.
It was a blast. Yeah. Thank you all for listening. I'm sure there's people who are listening who wanted to say things on certain movies. They're like, wait! That's what's cool about it, though. You have your own conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The Coens, yeah. Connor and I talk about them anyway, all the time.
Yeah.
So we felt like we just had to, let's press record.
Yeah. Consider these podcasts a jumping off point for your own conversations.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just wanted to tell you what we think.
Yeah, because I'm sure we missed,
Yeah.
or didn't mention something. That's how good they are. They have that much shit.
Each one of these films is worthy of their own episode. Just to chat about
pretty much
the full thing.
Yeah.
This is really more of a gist.
Yeah, and show the longevity where we both had. I had, I think, 5 movies that were a 10. You had 4.
Yeah. And
we both had a bunch of 9s. We had some 8s. They're fucking kick-ass.
They are. They absolutely are.
Oh, man.
That's it for the Coen brothers. So let's take a look, like we always do, with what happened this week in film. Harry Styles has turned down the role of Prince Eric in Disney's The Little Mermaid.
Oh, darn.
I don't care.
Let's
I don't
move
like
on.
Harry Styles.
Let's move on.
Well, I don't like him. I just don't care.
I don't know him. Yeah, I don't really know. Wait, that is the One Direction guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Henry Golding from Crazy Rich
Someone's
Asians.
gonna hate us.
Yeah.
He was in Dunkirk.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the One Direction guy. He was fine in that. So.
Okay. Well,
but I just don't.
He won't be in The Little Mermaid.
Whatever. Anyway. Yeah.
Henry Golding from Crazy Rich Asians is in talks to play Snake Eyes in a G.I. Joe spinoff.
That didn't surprise me.
They've been trying to make that movie for years. G.I. Joe never took off like they wanted it to take off.
I'm glad it didn't. I didn't need another weird franchise.
Yeah. Steven Summers, man. What happened to him?
I don't know. He's still trying to get G.I. Joe off the ground.
I don't think it's him anymore.
He passed that baton to some other...
I think they took it away from him.
They just stole it.
Yeah.
Toy Story 4?
Toy Story 4 has crossed $1 billion worldwide.
Shit.
Yep. It was good.
I'm cool with that. It's one of the best movies of the summer, yeah.
Russell Brand is in talks to join Kenneth Branagh's Death on the Nile.
Cool.
Second Hercule Poirot movie after 2017's Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been 2 years since then. Where does the time go?
Weird. That's like when I first... Well, not when I first worked at Draft House, but that was when I was there.
Murder on the Orient Express was okay. I still think the 74 Albert Finney version is definitive.
Yeah.
But he did a decent job.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Neil Blomkamp is no longer directing the new RoboCop movie, which is kind of a bummer because he would have been a good choice for that.
Agreed. He would have caused me to go see it.
Neil Blomkamp, why can't he get any more work?
I don't know.
What's going on?
What did he do?
Yeah, he District 9... Elysium, Chappie, and then fucking nothing. What happened?
Chappie.
That's probably why, honestly.
Chappie sucked. But District 9 is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It is.
There's aspects of Elysium that I like, but good God, Chappie is bad. Have you seen it?
I have.
Hugh Jackman's haircut?
Oh my God. It's the two fucking South African rappers.
Oh.
I can't stand them.
Yeah, what are they called? They're so bad. That movie sucked. Sucked. I walked out of the theater just laughing at why did this get made, and why is this going to make like millions of dollars? It's really sad. That's what people want to go see.
Yeah,
All right.
damn shame.
What else do you got?
Ewan McGregor is returning to play Obi-Wan Kenobi in a new Disney Plus series.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Great news with Ewan McGregor these days.
Yeah.
Dr. Sleep.
He is in a good spot career-wise, and I'm so glad he's going to play Obi-Wan.
Me
again.
too.
He's
Hell
the best
yeah.
part of the prequels.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
And there are things that are good about the prequels. It's just it came in a weird time.
For those of you who have been living under a rock for their entire lives, we're talking about Star Wars.
Oh yeah, even I know that. I'm not even that big of a fan.
Just feel like I should mention that because someone's going to be like, "Who's Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan Kenobi? Which one is he in?
What language is that? Like,
I know
can
Kylo
see.
Ren.
But it's going to be cool.
I mean, yeah.
Disney Plus is loading. It's being loaded with Marvel shows and Star Wars shows, and I'm okay with that.
Apparently, at every tech conference that they do, it's doing horribly.
What?
Disney Plus.
What do you mean?
Like their format is a joke, and it like doesn't work correctly, and people are like, "What is going on?" Like,
God damn it!
Why are y'all showing us this now? Like, perfect it, figure it out.
How do they fuck? They're the biggest movie studio in the
y'all
world.
Y'all are going to make your money back.
Yeah.
You're going to. Take your fucking time. Make a good product. I don't understand that. It's like, why are you releasing it to these people to show these people who are the ones who are like, that write about it and review these things?
I really fucking hope this doesn't fail. There's
It
so much riding on this.
It can't.
Half the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You just said you're making a Loki show. You can't.
Well, not just Loki, Falcon, Winter Soldier,
everything.
like all of this shit.
And that's just going to be on your streaming service.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the other shit you announced at Comic-Con. Like, woo!
Now I'm fucking concerned.
Yeah, no, I heard a lady talk about that. She was on a podcast.
Oh, no.
She was on Bill Stone's podcast, The Ringer, and he asked her point blank, like, how is it doing at the tech? And she's like, bad. Bad. She's like, bad.
Damn it.
She's like, I write about it, I say. She's like, of course, it can turn around. But she's like, as of right now, nobody's like...
Well, to put that in perspective, when Hulu launched, it was a disaster.
Exactly. Hulu still has had format issues with a lot of people.
I used to work there. It's a disaster.
Yeah, it is. And it's so weird that these companies can't find a way to, like, just hire smart engineers. Hire people who know how to run these things.
Netflix never had this problem.
No, Netflix's format is so goddamn simple.
Yeah.
And even Amazon. Amazon's is really simple. Maybe even more simple than Netflix. It's like, how is it not... just easy as fuck. Like, just
Disney Plus is going to have the best content of all of these people.
Hands
Why
down.
are they fucking this up?
I don't know. I really hope that turns around. Because, yeah, that's something we're all going to get. So they better not let us down. You know what I mean? But that's great news. Obi-Wan Kenobi, to wrap that up.
Right on, yeah.
Can't wait.
Next up, I really hope this ends up being true. Pierce Brosnan is rumored to be playing Alfred Pennyworth.
I've read that, and I think it is true.
in the Batman.
I think it is.
Good choice. Out of left field.
Fantastic choice.
Yeah. Cool. He's going to bring a gravitas to that. Not just, So Michael Caine's still my favorite Alfred. But
Me too.
I think Brosnan's going to have that, ex-MI6 kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Because that's the Alfred we're all starting to get used to now with the new show, the Pennyworth show. Alfred is a soldier who, became a butler. So I think we're going to get more of that with Brosnan if he does end up being
for
real.
sure.
This Batman movie's looking like it's going to be
I can't wait.
really good.
I can't wait. And the stuff I've been reading about Joaquin Phoenix is so awesome.
Oh,
He's been like, or before for the Joker role, he was going to visit people who have like chronic laughter problems and studying and just watch. He's like, I just watched people laugh until they were crying, until they were in pain. And I was like, okay,
that's frightening.
And so that's what that guy's doing for his job. That's like his livelihood, is going to like study these people who are insane.
Well, just look at like the amount of weight he lost. He's emaciated. Like, he is taking this seriously, and I love that.
He takes everything pretty.
I'm hearing Oscar buzz around this. Like, this is going to be something special.
He's Joaquin, man.
Yeah,
he is Oscar bait as it comes for actors. Like, look at me, look what I can do.
Can't believe he hasn't won yet.
It blows my mind.
Yeah,
still
he
blows
will.
my mind.
It's early.
I think he will. And I really don't know what movie you'd point out to.
Could be Joker.
No, I know, but like now, so far in his resume,
yeah. What he should have won for, I would say Her, honestly.
Oh yeah, to me that's his best performance and best movie that he's in.
Yeah,
I love Her. I love Walk the Line. I think he's
Johnny
fantastic in The Master.
I still got to see
him in PSH. Whew, boy, talk about couple.
I love him as Commodus in Gladiator.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Such a shit.
He's literally a piece of shit. Yeah, Joaquin's the man.
Oh, yeah.
We're both, I'm big Batman fans. Who isn't? But I think we're even more excited than most people are for these.
Yeah,
because we believe in who's doing them. We believe in the names behind the camera.
We're getting our favorite characters and some of our favorite actors.
Yeah,
and filmmakers who are pedigreed, who are actually taking this seriously.
Well, and a guy like Robert Pattinson, who really, in my opinion, has like nothing to lose. Like Ben Affleck was huge when he became Batman. He had just done The Town, Gone Girl. Like, this guy just become like, not only was he already famous, making a lot of money, but now he's like, oh, that guy can really act. Like, The Town's an awesome movie. Gone Girl's an awesome movie. Hey, this guy's pretty good. He's pretty serious. And he's like, okay, I'm ready to be Batman now. It's like, I don't think you're ready yet, or you were ever ready. You probably just shouldn't have done it, But Robert Pattinson's someone who, his biggest fans are like Twilight fans. And then there's people who have seen his movies, High Life and Good Time and Water for Elephants, and you're like, that guy's really, really talented. And I'm one of those people, I 100% believe he's going to fucking kill it as Bruce Wayne and as Batman, which, in my opinion, hasn't been done yet. I don't think Bale was the best Bruce Wayne. I think Michael Keaton was a very good Bruce Wayne. I just think it's hard. I don't think it's easy to balance. I personally have high expectations for Robert, but I don't think the rest of the movie world does. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
And so, in my eyes, it's him just being like, I'm just going to show people what I can do. Like, that's all it is. Ben Affleck is like, no, you have to show us what you can do because you're Ben Affleck, There's like a huge amount of money attached to your name. If you're in a movie, people are going to see it. So.
And Affleck felt the need to redeem himself after Daredevil. And
that... Yeah. That's frustrating because it's like, okay, Ryan Reynolds felt like he had to redeem himself, but he actually made something worthwhile. With Deadpool, he took his time, and like really nailed it. I wish Ben Affleck would have done that.
I think if Affleck had got in the DCEU at the worst possible time.
Yeah, it's timing. Timing is everything, man.
We needed a good, with the right script and the right filmmaker. If Affleck had gotten to do his own Batman movie, he could have been the best one.
Yeah,
he had the look, he had the character down, but the movie around him sucked
bad,
and that's just very unfortunate.
It happens. That's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, we're going to do a full podcast on the DCEU one day because I got to find out what the fuck happened with that. All right, next up, Ludi Lin is going to play Liu Kang in the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Sweet.
I don't know who that is, but I'm sure he'll do great.
Yeah, I don't know who it is, but I know the character. So.
Yeah, Liu Kang. I love Mortal Kombat, so hopefully this is good. Yeah. Next one, this was really sad. Legendary counterculture actor Peter Fonda has died at 79 years old of lung cancer. He's the son of Oscar winner Henry Fonda, brother of Oscar winner Jane Fonda, famous for his role in Easy Rider, which he also wrote. And, yeah, very sad. We're going to miss him.
Swell, man. Anybody who's interested, and this is for you too, Connor.
Yo.
Mark Maron had him on his podcast about a year ago and re-released it today. Go check that out if you can. Listen to a guy who's seen a lot.
Yeah.
Seen a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he's very genuine, very cool dude from what I've heard and read. So I encourage people to go listen to him talk because he had some wisdom that some of us simply can't attain. So yeah, really cool. Rest in peace to him, man. Yeah,
absolutely. Finally, the cast for the Lady and the Tramp remake has been revealed.
Jesus Christ.
Live action Lady and the Tramp with real dogs or really good CGI dogs. And here we go. This is the cast of Lady and the Tramp. Tessa Thompson will be voicing Lady. Justin Theroux will be voicing Tramp. Sam Elliott will be voicing Trusty. Janelle Monáe will be voicing Peg. Yvette Nicole Brown will play Aunt Sarah. Benedict Wong will play the voice of Bull. And I don't know enough about Lady and the Tramp to know who the important characters are here.
Kiersey Clemens is doing Darling, yeah. Okay. I really actually love every one of these people, but I don't give a flying fuck about a Lady and the Tramp remake. The original is good. It's a good movie. It's actually one of my favorite older Disney movies. But my God, why? What's
everything is going to be remade live action. This is what
and
they
it's
do
not
now.
even it's oh man. This is hard. This is like a whole new way of movie making. After Lion King and Jungle Book, it's like, uh-oh.
And this will be on Disney Plus, unless, of course, it fucks up.
It'll be fine. They'll be fine. There's too much money.
Disney's not going to let this fail.
I don't know what to say about Lady and the Tramp. That's just so goddamn lazy. Use those other voices for a cartoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For like a creative cartoon that we've never seen. Because like I love all those people. Tessa Thompson's great, but Sam Elliott, Janelle Monáe, like, come on, man. That's frustrating. This is gonna keep happening now. So.
Oh yeah.
So
they're not going to stop till they've done all their films.
I should just buckle up and get used to it, huh?
At this point, that's kind of all you can do.
Yeah.
That's it for this week, folks. Hope you enjoyed this in-depth look at the Coen brothers films. Stay tuned next week where we journey back to the 1960s for the Alfred Hitchcock horror thriller Psycho. Woo! Which effectively created the modern slasher film as we know it. It's been too long since I've seen this film, and I can't wait to bring it out for you guys. Until then, take it easy. Go bowling. Don't steal a baby. Stay away from drug deals gone bad. Don't hire any scumbags to kidnap your wife. And as always, see you next Wednesday.